team loses. How about Philadelphia traveling to Detroit week number 1? I feel good about it. I think they'll be up by 7 at some point. You should go with that one. How about San Francisco traveling to Chicago? I think that's a pretty good bet there where you may want to drop a line. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code FANATIC to get $200 in free bets instantly when you place a $5 bet on any football game. That's code FANATIC only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. You must be 21 or older, Pennsylvania only. Bonus issued as free bets. 1 early win token issued at opt-in. Moneyline bets only. Deposit and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/football. Terms in partnership with Meadows Racetrack and Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Cigars are not a safe alternative to cigarettes. Looking for a premium smoke? Then welcome to the world of Al Capone cigars, where we're keeping it real. Using only premium natural leaf wrappers, Al Capones are hand-rolled for a unique look and smooth flavor. From mellow to bold to the rich flavor of sweet cognac, Al Capone cigars stand out. Elevate your style with Al Capone My Way. Find us at alcaponecigar.com. That's alcaponecigar.com.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Hey, it's Cuz. Spend less and get more during Colonial Marble and Granite's Labor Day sale. Save up to 20% off all marble, granite, quartz countertops, and up to 65% off exotic stone inventory. Get zero money down, 0% interest for up to 18 months on purchases of $19.99 or more. Get your dream kitchen with new countertops from Colonial Marble and Granite. This deal ends Monday, September the 5th. Visit one of their area showrooms or online at colonialmarble.net.
It's a fact. Only 0.0001% of people will ever step up to the plate as a pro baseball player. For the rest of us, there's BetRivers.com Sportsbook app. Featuring same-game parlays, you can combine the excitement of different bets all from the same game. Totals? Bet 'em. Spreads? Bet 'em. Player props? It's a home run. Download the BetRivers.com Sportsbook app today. It's a whole new game.
Presented by Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, guys, if you're feeling sluggish, it could be the summer heat or it could be a symptom of low testosterone. Low testosterone can cause many issues, including reduced libido, low energy, bad sleep patterns, problems with muscle gain, and a whole lot more. If these symptoms sound familiar to you, get yourself checked. Call Dr. Avidan Appel at Iron Mountain Men's Health to see if testosterone therapy is the right solution for you. The specialists at Iron Mountain Men's Health have treated thousands of men for low testosterone, and patients see positive results within weeks. They gain muscle back, add to their energy, improve their sex lives, get better sleep, and just feel better all around. So make your appointment today and see if testosterone therapy can change your life. Visit IronMountainMen'sHealth.com or call their office at 215-659-3770. That's 215-659-3770. Tell them Bob Cooney sent you. Iron Mountain Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia. It's time now for Cuz Radio.
What up, Cuz?
Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding?
Talking with the Cuz.
Go Cuz. How you doing?
Stairs rips one into the night.
Stolen by the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way rock the baby to sleep and slam dunk.
Look, Cuz, don't even try it, okay?
Now here's Anthony Gargano.
Why don't you get the hell out of here, Cuz?
What's going on, y'all? 97.5 The Fanatic, the midday show. Anthony Gargano, Andrew Salchunas out for the remainder of the week. I'm in, and Tom Alvord hanging out with me as we run for 4 hours this morning, going into the early afternoon. Thrilled to be with you for these next 2 days following the John Kincaid Show. I get to see my guys, Bob Cooney, Jamie Lynch, Pat Egan, Connor Thomas, John Kincaid, always doing a fantastic job. So we're going to have a great time with you. We hope we have FanFest tickets, information to give out to you as we hit September 1. We're finally here. I can't stand it because, Anthony likes to push the summer along to get to football. I want to extend the summer because I want to keep the summer going. But, hey, it is what it is. We're here. We hope you're all doing well as we run with you. We got to talk about the Phils and the getaway game last night, getting the W as they leave Arizona with one win. They put up some crooked numbers on that team last night. We'll get into that. We'll also talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, of course, and the things that took place yesterday that maybe did not happen for many of you. You didn't get a chance to talk about it. I spoke about it briefly last night. We'll get into it a lot more today and getting your thoughts. And that is really about as we start with the Birds and the season now just, 10 days away as we get ready to start on the 11th against the Detroit Lions. Well, the Jalen Reagor part, he was just he was a lightning rod here. Immediately after he was drafted, he was a lightning rod. And why was he? Because many of us wanted a different wide receiver, whether it was Justin Jefferson or Brandon Ayuk. You had a lot of different wide receiver choices, and for many, he wasn't it. And I being one of them during the draft that night, as we were sitting here, myself, Tyler Zulli, Joe Torti, we were all sitting here doing the draft show. Justin Jefferson, Jalen Reagor, Brandon Ayuk, all these wide receivers on the board, and including some of the others that went later on did not want him. And not to jump in on all of that all over again and frustrate people, but look, it's finally done. He has moved on. He is now in Minnesota, ironically enough, traded to the same team as Justin Jefferson, where he will still be, even though he's traded there. He's not better than KJ Osborne, at least as of right now. So he's at best the fourth wide receiver on that team. That being said, while we had our frustrations with him, he did not draft himself, but he also did not help himself from taking a lot of heat from the fan base, and rightfully so. Some of the media in general speaking about his level of play, which was simply not good enough. And as I was talking to Tom here before the show, and we were discussing the story from Jeff McClain on theinquirer.com of Jeff explaining how he felt Jalen Reagor didn't deserve the hate that he received from Eagle fans. Now, I wouldn't describe it as hate. I would describe it more as dislike of the receiver because, number one, he wasn't good enough. And number two, for me, if you've heard me before at night, filling in on the morning show, joining the morning show, this time slot, the afternoon, whatever I've been very clear that he was annoying to me. The other part being, outside of the lack of talent, he talked too much. And that was him. Him and only him talking too much. Yes, he's 23. He grew up in the social media era, and a lot of times you express your feelings in that way. Understood. But you're also a professional. And there are other 23-year-olds in professional sports who don't conduct themselves that way, so you brought that on yourself. So when it's talked about that didn't deserve the hate from Eagle fans, everything that he got was warranted, was justified. And I don't think it was all hate. Yes, there was some that hated him and couldn't stand him and wish he was gone sooner than he was this year. But he did this to himself. I am not taking anything off of him that he did. Sure, he didn't draft himself, but guess what? Like many, you always want to be drafted as high as possible. Talked about as a first-round pick, he was drafted as a first-round pick. Did he live up to those expectations? He did not. He wasn't good enough to be a first-round pick, as we've seen so far during his time with the Philadelphia Eagles. What happens thereafter, we will see. Was it the Eagles and their wide receiver coach that wasn't good enough? Did the coaches not execute things the right way for him and draw up the right game plan? All of that stuff, right? All of that plays into it. But guess what? At the end, he has to accept responsibility himself for what he didn't do. He was given opportunity. The team wasn't good enough. So guess what? You are a starting wide receiver on this team. Even when Devontae Smith came in and he just simply right away takes over as the best wide receiver on this team, you were the second best wide receiver on the team. Then you were trumped by a 5th, 6th rounder in Quez Watkins because he performed better. Was it just because of speed? No, because he was more productive when he was out there. That's why Jalen Reagor got the heat that he got from Eagle fans, from us here on the radio station, and so many that, again, it was all warranted and justified. So for me, he got everything that he deserved, and I don't look at it as if it was hate. It was just simply, Eagle fans are smart. Philadelphia fans are smart. Some you can say, what is going on here and all that stuff, but when you see somebody who can't play, who can't coach, who can't run a front office, you identify it and you say, I don't think that person has the goods. He's not qualified to be in this position, whether it's a quarterback, a point guard, a goalie, whatever it is. You identify and you say that guy does not have it. And when you are elevated to that level, number one, having to live up to the first round draft pick, then having the general manager trying to justify it all the time whenever he's being discussed. And we can't ignore what's happening with the guy that went one pick behind him, who has now elevated himself to an all-pro and arguably the best wide receiver in the game. That's easy to discuss and easy to look at the other player and say, how did it get here? How did it happen this way? Why is he not good? It goes along with the rest of the bust, because he was a bust, that we've talked about for many years, over the years, with players that did not live up to what we thought they would be as picks in their respective sports. So as we start off today, and looking at that Jeff McClain piece, that Jalen Reagor didn't deserve the hate from Eagle fans, let's flip those letters around a little bit. Let's swap the A and the E and put the T at the end and say, did he deserve the heat that he received from the Eagle fan base during his time here in Philadelphia? Because I think he absolutely did. He brought a lot of that on himself by talking too much, stating that, hey, my time will come, or I didn't get the ball enough, and having all these cryptic things that he would say on social media that you knew he was saying. And Miles Sanders is in that same category with me, that you talk too much. You talk too much for not enough production, so you absolutely deserve the heat that is given to you because of what you have not done as a first-round selection in the NFL, specifically here during your time with the Philadelphia Eagles. 610-632-0975. Do you believe that Jalen Reagor deserved the heat that has been laid at him during his time here in Philadelphia? I understand, again, Howie Roseman is the one who made the mistake of drafting him. But if you all go back to 2020, first-round draft pick, we talked many times about Jalen Reagor along with the other wide receivers, from Michael Pittman. We brought up Brandon Ayuk, Denzel Mims, again, Justin Jefferson, and where they should go, where they should be slotted. Should the Eagles be looking at this particular wide receiver? He was one of them. He was one of the wide receivers that we talked about. Should he be in the mix or no? Maybe he's a guy, if you trade it down, let's say in that 27, 28 area, then you go ahead and you make a selection like Jalen Reagor, take a chance on him there, but not at 20. We need something much better. That's where the Justin Jefferson, that's that area. That's where he lives. He doesn't belong in that same category. Well, guess what? Guess what? He did get selected. That was Howie Roseman. But Jalen Reagor came in as a first-round talent, we thought, maybe not in the same tier as Jefferson, but in that area. And he came in, he walked the walk, he talked the talk, he felt like he belonged. The team wasn't good. He was given opportunity, and guess what? He didn't live up to it. Then he started to make excuses. Then he started to say those things on social media. That then is no longer just on Howie Roseman. Yes, he brought him here. He put him in a building. He brought him into our lives as we are watching the Eagles and watching them in a big way and following them and seeing what they do, trying to improve this team. He did that, yes. But at some point, it's on the player, and we can't take that off of him. He did not, and I think that heat was well-deserved as we lay it at the feet of Jalen Reagor now that he has moved on. He's going to go down as a bust first-round pick. It is on him. That is not, at this point, just on Howie Roseman. So where do you stand as we move on? This is the last time we'll have to talk about him until we get ready for week number 2 when Minnesota comes to town and they kick off the Eagles' home schedule. Week 2, Monday Night Football. Going to be a very good game. Minnesota is going to be an improved team. Their new coaching staff, Justin Jefferson, again, top receiver in the game, one of the top. and you know that Kirk Cousins can light it up. Dalvin Cook also there, Adam Thielen, KJ Osborne. They have stuff. And now they have Jalen Reagor, so that's when we'll talk about him again. But this will be the last time that I talk about him because let's move on. You have a much better wide receiver group now led by A.J. Green, Devontae Smith, and mix in Zach Pascal and Quez Watkins. Also in there in the mix, Dallas Goddard. Did he get too much heat? And did he deserve it here in Philadelphia during his time as an Eagle? 610-632-0975. My easy answer, yes, I explained it. I hope you can explain why you felt like he deserved the heat that he did receive as a Philadelphia Eagle here during his time, during his young career. Also, as we look at the 53-man roster, nothing is ever complete with Howie Roseman because things are always changing. Now Reagor moves on. Davion Taylor, he gets let go. Let's see if he latches on. I haven't seen if he has latched on anywhere, Tom. All right, cool. He hasn't latched on anywhere yet. But the team has improved. The team is looked at as a playoff squad that should make noise, maybe a contender as the season goes along and we get to evaluate them and see how they match up with some of the other better teams in the NFC. They're not at that top level yet, but they're somewhere in that middle where they are a really good team that we look at as a double-digit squad and maybe even the division leader as it stands right now. And as so many of you, we have all talked about it together of what they've done in the offseason to make the changes to the roster, including the wide receiver group as we just laid it out. But I also want to know, as Tom and I sit here with you until 10 o'clock and we get things started.
Till 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. I'm thinking last night. Quick turnaround for me. Where have they improved the most on this roster? I've been a big proponent of needing to be better in the secondary over the last few seasons, all dating back to the Super Bowl year. I was thrilled when they went out there and got Ronald Darby because they needed help at the cornerback position. It worked out. They made their changes. They did the things that they needed to do there. But then thereafter, they still had issues in the secondary. Never a big fan of Jalen Mills. Liked him for what he was. But I knew it needed to be improved there because he wasn't a starting outside cornerback, really. And he couldn't be a slot because he wasn't fast enough. He probably was best out there, but not my favorite. But I love the fact that the tenacity, the toughness, all that, the want to, he felt like he was that good. You like that bravado, all of that. But now that they have their 3 starting corners in Slay, Bradbury, and Maddox, then you mix in the improvement in which you think that Marcus Epps and now with Gargano Johnson in the mix there at the safety position, while we still have questions and we don't yet know who they are as safeties, as starters, it seems that they are improved at the secondary grouping overall together. So when I ask what have they improved on the most so far this offseason as we gear up for the Detroit Lions, and the roster's seemingly intact right now with the 53, with maybe some minor adjustments, and they might have to do something now that they moved on from Jalen Reagor with 4 wide receivers. Yes, you can use, of course, Kenneth Gainwell with a lot of different packages out there with the wide receivers. You can line them up outside, and obviously with Dallas Goddard being one of the top 5, maybe, tight ends in the game. Where do you believe that they have improved the most this season as a group? Could be the linebackers, the entire defensive front, where they are looked at as one of the best, but they don't necessarily have a star. They just have a good overall group of defensive linemen, from tackles and edge rushers, where you look at them in their totality and you say that this is pretty good. They have one of the best defensive rotations in the NFL. Could be the wide receivers with just one addition, and A.J. Brown, or maybe 2, adding Zach Pascal and the taking away from you Jalen Reagor. You feel like you're improved there. Maybe you do. I look at the secondary and I say that's one of the most important things that they needed to address with Roddy McLeod, Anthony Harris being free agents, looking at Steven Nelson being a free agent, all 3 of them leaving. Anthony Harris brought back but then let go, now on the practice squad. The secondary is much improved to me, and I like how Howie Roseman put it together. They were a playoff team last year that could not take a step back, even though they got there the way that they did unexpectedly as a rebuilding team. They got there. So as we talk about Jalen Reagor, did he deserve the heat that was thrown at him during his time here in Philadelphia? I also ask you, where do you believe that this team has improved the most that will help them get to where you hope they get to? First of all, winning the division. Second, getting to win a playoff game or more, making that run. And then ultimately getting to a Super Bowl where, you get one a few years ago, you won another one. You like the feeling of it. So that's where we begin. 610-632-0975. Phils get the win last night. Big one as they close out the series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. They put up a big number on Arizona last night after Arizona took care of them, of course, in their games, the first two, where they made them look silly. But Bailey Falter gets the win, 18 runs for the Phils, 18-2 victory. They head to, with a day off on Thursday today, they head to San Francisco for 3 against Gabe Kapler and his group, who had lost, last time I looked, they lost 7 in a row, and it might still be the number after they took on the San Diego Padres, I believe, yesterday. And, yes, they lost 7 in a row. They're 61-68. So the Phillies have an opportunity with the day off now to, again, regroup, get things together, go into San Francisco, and simply pick up the wins that they need to pick up. Big win, good win for them last night. Did not win the series. It's frustrating of how they lost those 2 games. They did get the one last night. Bailey Falter looked good. Did have to leave with a little groin strain. So we have to monitor that because he's been pretty good like the last 4 starts. Bailey Falter stopping things for the Eagles, stopping the bleeding, if you will, against the Mets, and the same thing with the Diamondbacks last night. Phillies get the win. They move on. So that's a positive there where you look at them going forward and you say, okay, just go out there, win this series, get it done before you return home and take on the Miami Marlins and the Washington Nationals before you hit the road once again to take on the Atlanta Braves. But a good win for them. Serena Williams, we'll talk about her. We'll get into what's going on with Serena Williams as she just keeps going. Just keeps going. The Union pick up a win and a playoff berth. We have a lot to talk about. We have FanFest tickets to give away. We have so much to get into. We're going to have some fun, as we always do, just simply having our side topic, trying to mix that into the conversation to have a little bit of fun as we talk about some serious things with the Eagles and the Phillies. And here talking about, again, a Jeff McClain piece that says Jalen Reagor didn't deserve the hate that he received from Eagle fans. We flip it around a little bit and just simply ask, did Jalen Reagor deserve all of the heat that he received during his time here in Philadelphia with the Eagles? The phone numbers, once again, 610-632-0975. We'll have morning thoughts in the 11 o'clock hour. We'll get to that. We'll tell you about a little thing that's happening a little later on at 12 o'clock. I think many people will be ready. You got to get ready. When we tell you at 12 o'clock, you got to jump in and do it. You got to get it done because I think you might want to hang out with us. That's a little tease for you there. That's what they call a little radio tease at 12 o'clock that we're going to have for you. But we'll have that for you. We're hanging out for Anthony Gargano, Andrew Salchunas until 2 o'clock today and tomorrow. Tom Alvord today, Tyler Zulli tomorrow. We got you covered as we lead you into the weekend, getting ready for your your holiday weekend in general. Tom, before we get to Ramid and D and everybody and get to the tweets, I got to bring you in, man. Good morning. Jalen Reagor, did he get too much heat while he was here?
Well, first of all, good morning, Devon.
Good morning.
It's nice to be working with you. It's weird, 10 to 2, working with you. But
that's why I said 10 o'clock. Thought we were going to be done at 10. That would be a long day.
Just what you're used to.
That's right.
He did not get too much hate. I don't believe it was hate like you said. You said it was more of a dislike, a heat. I think it was more of a frustration, annoyance with Jalen Reagor. Listen, we're not asking you to be
with Jalen Reagor because of, as you were just about to say, Justin Jefferson.
Because we're not asking you to be Justin Jefferson. Everyone was frustrated after that pick. Everybody wanted Justin Jefferson with that pick. More of the hate should have been directed at Howie Roseman, and it was. Unfortunately, you can't boo Howie Roseman every single time, every single game, because you don't see him every single game, but you see Jalen Reagor, so that's why the boos came down pretty much every time his name was announced, every time he touched the ball, whatever it may be. The hate should have been directed at Howie Roseman, and it was. The thing is, Howie Roseman redeemed himself.
Yep.
He realized what he did wrong, and he had an opportunity, and he took care of it, bringing in A.J. Brown, drafting Devontae Smith the year after. But when it comes to the unnecessary heat, the unnecessary hate, no, it wasn't. Because just because you're not Justin Jefferson doesn't mean you can't go out there and be a competent wide receiver. Listen, everybody wanted Earl Thomas over Brandon Graham, and we were giving Brandon Graham a lot of heat back then. But guess what? He redeemed himself, and he turned into the Brandon Graham that we know.
Made arguably the biggest play in Philadelphia Eagles history.
Probably the biggest play in Philadelphia Eagles history. Alec Boehm, everybody was ready to throw Alec Boehm out of town. Just get him out of here, trade him for whatever. We're done with him. You know what he did? He redeemed himself. He went out there. Now this kid's hitting, like 290 this entire season, improved at third base. So we ask you to redeem yourself here in Philadelphia. We ask you to just go out there and just be competent. And Jalen Reagor was never that. It doesn't help that he got a $7.2 million signing bonus and $13 million guaranteed on that rookie contract. And he went out there and had, 2 notable plays. As positive, notable plays.
Which ones are they?
The punt return with Green
in his
Bay,
rookie year?
And that might be it, actually, so it might just be one.
There were more negatives, like the dropping at the goal line to help you win a game against the New York Giants. Too many of those drops.
The muff punts. Running right out of bounds after a punt.
Yeah, the bad decisions and things like that, man. So, just more heat because of your level of play. You should, at worst, be a third receiver on your football team.
Instead of a fifth receiver here behind guys like Quez Watkins and Zach Pascal. He's going to go to Minnesota. Probably be the fourth, maybe fifth receiver there. So listen, we're not asking you to be Justin Jefferson. We would have loved that, of course, but you couldn't go out there and just continually hurt this team, and that's what he did. Didn't help, as you mentioned, that he was all over Twitter, all over Insta. I understand he's a young kid, and that's a lot of pressure. But, man, don't delete Insta, don't delete Twitter, and then re-download it a couple weeks later and start talking. So, listen, it was something that had to happen. It was a mistake, and Howie Roseman, even though he did redeem himself, we should still be calling him out for his mistakes. He made up for it. But I'm just glad that era is over here, and we can focus on the Eagles team going forward.
After today.
Yes.
After today.
After today.
Because we have to talk about it with you until 2 o'clock, 610-632-0975. Did Jalen Reagor get too much heat as a Philadelphia Eagle during his tenure here with the squad? We'll take your phone calls on the other side when we get back. We'll, again, continue to tell you about so many things that we have going on for you today, including the Phils, Serena Williams, the Morning Thoughts later on, and so much more. Devon Givens in for Anthony Gargano. Tom Alvord in for Andrew Salchunas on this Thursday. We hope you're having a good morning right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies wake up. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by Wawa Sizzlies. Wawa's 2 for $5 Sizzly deals makes breakfast the most important deal of the day. Great mornings start at Wawa. Yes, after being outscored 25-10 in the first 2 games of the series, the Phillies responded in a major way. They finished with 22 hits and went 15 for 29 with runners in scoring position in their 18-2 drubbing over the Diamondbacks in the series finale. Every single Philly starter had at least 2 hits and at least 1 RBI. 18 runs is the most the Phillies have scored this season, and they did it all without hitting a single home run. The Phillies now sit at 73-58 on the year and are a half game up on the Padres for the second wild card spot in the NL. Phils get the day off today before heading to San Francisco for a 3-game series with the Giants. The Philadelphia Union clinched a playoff spot last night with a 4-1 win over Atlanta United FC. The Union have won 3 straight games in which they've outscored their opponents 16-1. And we are officially 1 week away from the start of the NFL season. Keep it locked to The Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alvord, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Cuz, Anthony Gargano. Weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey guys, Bob Cooney here. And imagine if your favorite casino came with an undo button. You get that with FanDuel Casino's Play It Again. Get up to $1,000 back if you're down after your first day. Play your favorite table games and hundreds of slots for real cash. See why FanDuel Casino is the #1 rated online casino app. I love to explore the daily and weekly promotions. I play with live dealers, and if I ever have a question, well, the best-in-class customer support team helps me 24/7. Sign up for FanDuel Casino with promo code BOB today and play it again with up to $1,000 back if you're down after your first day. That's promo code BOB.
21 plus and present in PA, must not have previously placed any wager on FanDuel Sportsbook, FanDuel Casino, Betfair Casino, Mohegan Sun Casino, or Stardust Casino. Refund issued as non-withdrawable casino-only site credit that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG.
You deserve more internet than what you get from just your cell phone. Get Xfinity high-speed internet at home free through the Affordable Connectivity Program. That's right. Eligible customers can get get Internet Essentials Plus, a $29.95 a month value, free when they enroll in the Affordable Connectivity Program. Get free high-speed internet with unlimited data and a wireless gateway included at no extra cost. No fees, no taxes, and no annual contract. Act now to get this incredible deal for more streaming, more gaming, and more chatting on more devices at home. Your cell phone can't do that. Get Xfinity high-speed internet at home through the Affordable Connectivity Program and connect to more of what you love for free. To see if you qualify, go to Xfinity.com/free, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. After program participation ends, Comcast standard charges, taxes, and fees apply. May not be combined with other offers.
Not long ago, I wouldn't even leave my house.
Addiction had such a hold on me.
I was a stranger in my own life.
My sister told me about 844-REACH-NJ.
I learned about medication that could support recovery.
And it's working for me.
With medication supporting my recovery, I'm moving forward.
844-REACH-NJ was my first step back into life.
And it feels amazing.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Call 844-REACH-NJ to learn about medication that can support your recovery. A message from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
The new school year is here, and it's go time for our teachers. Dunkin' is brewing up the perfect way to say thank you. In celebration of all local educators, participating Dunkin' restaurants throughout Philadelphia are treating teachers to a free, medium, hot, or iced coffee on Thursday, September 1st. No purchase necessary. Limit 1 per guest. Excludes cold brew and nitro cold brew. Additional charges may apply. Participation may vary. Offer not valid in Metro NYC, Lancaster, Harrisburg, York, PA, Johnstown, Altoona, PA, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, PA. Terms apply.
Businesses of all types and sizes are saving money with Pico because Pico's got the financial incentives and technical expertise to help you reduce your energy use and to save cash. See how Pico's helping businesses like yours take greater control of their energy costs to improve their bottom line. Simply complete a customer survey on Pico's digital portal and an energy profile. The report will be generated for you, and this profile is going to provide specific recommendation based on your facilities, equipment, and energy use with great ways to save while either maintaining or increasing productivity.
When others treat your fries as an afterthought, all you're left with are cold, soggy fries. That's why Wendy's fries are ones you won't forget, guaranteed to be hot and crispy, or we'll replace them. We're talking natural cut, skin-on fries, perfectly seasoned with a hint of sea salt. In fact, they're even preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's. These are fries so hot and crispy, they beg a new question.
What would you like with your fries?
Try them today, only at Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, taste preference based on a national taste test by an independent research company.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
At CSL Plasma, you can make up to $825 this month when you donate plasma at any of CSL Plasma's tri-state area donation centers. That's money you get on a reloadable, prepaid card for doing a good deed. Plasma donations help create therapies to treat patients with rare and serious diseases, and donations are needed now more than ever. The donation process is a lot like donating blood, with a nice chunk of change in your pocket when you're done. As a thank you for your time, you don't need an appointment to donate. Walk-ins are welcome.
It's a fact. Only 0.0001% of people will ever step up to the plate as a pro baseball player. For the rest of us, there's BetRivers.com Sportsbook app. Featuring same-game parlays, you can combine the excitement of different bets all from the same game. Totals? Bet 'em. Spreads? Bet 'em. Player props? It's a home run. Download the BetRivers.com Sportsbook app today. It's a whole new game.
Presented by Rivers Casino Pittsburgh. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You know, as a two-time cancer survivor, I know when it comes to funding cancer research, every single dollar counts. And I'm so proud that the American Association for Cancer Research is once again the official charity of The John Kincaid Show, because it's a cause that hits close to home for me and my family, and probably for you too. You've got friends, you've got family who've been touched by cancer directly. We all can work together with the AACR to help accelerate scientific discoveries that are going to benefit patients and families everywhere. So why don't you make a donation donation to the AACR, the American Association for Cancer Research, today. You realize they're based right here in Philadelphia, and there's over 50,000 researchers that are looking for your funding. And there's more than 17 million Americans that are survivors of cancer today, like myself, that benefit from it. So join us today. Support those scientists and doctors. Give hope to cancer patients and their families. Donate online right now. Go to aacr.org/fanatic. That's aacr.org/fanatic, because cancer research saves lives.
More of the Anthony Gargano Show now
on 97.5 The Fanatic.
1031, 97.5 The Fanatic. Devon Givens in for Anthony Gargano. 610-632-0975. Tom Alvord in for Andrew Salchunas on this Thursday morning. Good morning. Good morning to Jalen Reagor, who's in Minnesota now. Did he get too much heat while he was here in Philadelphia? We need to get to the Twitter poll of the day again with Tom. That is brought to you by Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning. But Tom, let's let the people know what we have for the Twitter poll.
Yes, so the official Twitter poll of the day, as you mentioned, brought to you by Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning. Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning is open and able to assist you with any air quality products or any emergency service and replacement needs, including an installation of air scrubbers and other air quality products. I'm not as good as Andrew with that stuff. Visit marvinecans.com. Kid reads it every day. So, on the official 97.5 Fanatic Twitter account, did Jalen Reagor deserve the heat he got here in Philadelphia? You have two options to choose from. Yes, he wasn't good enough, or no, it was a bit too much. Right now, very early voting. Yes, he wasn't good enough at 73%. No, it was a bit too much at 27%.
It's real simple. Yes, he deserved it. Yes, he did. Yes, he was drafted. He didn't draft himself. But, of course, he accepted that. He thought he was that good. He conducted himself as such on the field where he thought he was good enough, but he wasn't. And then off the field with the talking all the time about how good he was as a receiver. I vote yes. What do you guys vote? Again, you can vote throughout the show, and Tom will have our updates as we go along throughout in general. So, all right, 610-632-0975. And the 10 o'clock hour is brought to you by Window Nation. Take advantage of Window Nation's 50% off sale on all style windows. Plus, make no down payment with no payments and no interest for 12 full months. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. Let's go to the phones. Let's get things started on this Thursday morning with Ramid on 97.5 The Fanatic tipping us off. What's up, Mid?
What's going on, D? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
All right, I got to go off topic for a second, but it's going to all merge together.
All right.
Hey, everybody that listens to you know that you play ball, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, when you play ball and you in this, whether you at the gym, you at the schoolyard, you in the rec, if somebody that's not better than you get picked before you, what's your reaction?
Your reaction in general?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to be upset that somebody, okay. Right.
So not only did he not show that reaction when everybody was saying, well, he got picked over Justin Jefferson, he let Travis Fulgham come in here and get his shine.
Thank you.
He let Devontae Smith come in here and get his shine.
Thank you.
He let Quez Watkins come in here and get his shine.
He let Greg Ward continue to be a guy that they had to call up and bring off the practice squad to take those snaps.
And he never motivated him to like say, oh no, I'm gonna go out here and show why I got picked before Justin Jefferson. I'm gonna go out here and show why Travis Fulgham is not better than me. I'm gonna go out there and show why Devontae Smith or Quez Watkins is not better than me. So I'm gonna say yes, he definitely deserved all the heat he got. And you hit it on the nose. He kept going back and forth with people on Twitter and all that. Like, dude, you're not doing nothing on the field. That's why you're getting that backlash.
Yeah. Now look, he's gonna go to Minnesota. They're gonna ask him how does he feel about the trade. You think he's gonna escape Justin Jefferson now? Right?
No, he's right there with him.
He has to answer at least questions for the first week of all of that. And I'm sure Justin Jefferson, like he said, look, the class act that he is, the professional, where he said, I hate that for him. He was talking to our friend Rob Motti of the AP, where he said, I hate it for him. He didn't ask for all of this, with me turning out to be what I turned out into and things not necessarily working out yet for him. Of course he didn't ask for it, but guess what? You asked for the other stuff that came with it when you started to talk and when you weren't performing well enough on the field and given opportunities, as you mentioned. Yeah, he deserved this heat.
Yeah, and wasn't his first career catch that big play action off of Carson Wentz in the Washington game?
Right.
And he got up off of that tackle and he stormed around like he was going to be something. I'm thinking, okay, we got somebody. We ain't see nothing of that the last 3 years after that.
No, and look, I remember the San Francisco game 2 last season after they beat the Atlanta Falcons. They lost that home game. But I remember walking into the building. I was coming into the building after doing the pregame show, and you could see the big screen. You could hear the crowd roaring mid, and I look up, and you could see the big screen from where I was walking in the parking lot, and you could see Rager getting the touchdown, right, along the sideline, deep pass from Jalen Hurts. And it wasn't his fault, I guess, kind of, when you start to talk about, dude, you can't allow yourself to be pushed out of bounds and then touch the ball first, all that stuff. Yeah. But, it's like, come on, man. And then after that, he didn't do much else after that, and he deserved everything that came to him, man.
He had ample opportunity to prove himself here.
Big time.
That Giants game last year.
Big time. Absolutely. Yeah, when he dropped it at the goal line.
Yep. And there was another drop before that.
Yes, it was. Yep. Back-to-back games he had. Yep. Absolutely.
Yep. No,
yep.
I'm saying that same Giants game, that he had 2 big drops.
Oh, in the same game. Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey.
He deserved all the heat.
He deserved it all.
Sanders going to be next if he don't show up this
year. And he talks too much, too. Mid,
yes,
thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you starting us off this morning. We'll catch up with you. And look, Big Slim OA on Twitter, Mark says, yes, Rager deserved it because he never proved us wrong and Howie right. And he says, Devon, he had more than enough time to show and prove. He absolutely did. He did not. Eventually, it is off of when you look at him and he has a little bit of talent, like the J.J. Arcega-Whiteside thing, that was a Howie thing. You look at that one more as a Howie thing than Rager as a first-round pick. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside and DK Metcalf and the issues with DK Metcalf with the hip, I think it was, coming out of Ole Miss, and he had those problems. And yes, Howie, that was a wrong choice by Howie. But in the end, immediately you could see it, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, you're like, he can't play. Or he's not a top wide receiver. Jalen Rager, you could say, all right, in today's game with the speed that he has, that he should be able to at least be a slot receiver, make enough noise, have some of those bubble screens, so some of those slants where you're quick enough off the line of scrimmage, beating the press man and having an opportunity to catch the football and go about your business and make plays. You want to blame the quarterback, Carson Wentz. He wasn't accurate enough. The same thing with Jalen Hurts also. Sure, you can look at some of those things. And look, Kirk Cousins might unleash something when he gets those snaps out there in Minnesota. But for the most part, here, you had enough time to show, and you didn't. And that's why I think it was warranted.
And it's not like there wasn't ample opportunity. As he mentioned, you're going against guys like Travis Fulgham and Devontae Smith, who is, a legit receiver. But other than that, it was just a bunch of guys. Now, Greg Ward was able to contribute. Quez Watkins showed flashes, but it's not like we're talking about him being drafted to, I don't know, the Los Angeles Chargers or the Los Angeles Rams where he's a fourth receiver coming in and there's no opportunity. No, you had every opportunity here, Jalen Rager. You just weren't able to capitalize. Also, it's not like J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, and who knows if that was more of a Lurie pick, if that was Howie and Lurie, who knows when it came to that situation. It's obvious that he was overdrafted, and he was obviously not even a NFL player at this point, but not a second-round pick as he was drafted at. Jalen Rager was all mocks, every mock, all offseason in that draft. He was projected first-round pick at minimum. Second-round pick, and you got drafted. Yes, it was ahead of Justin Jefferson, but for you to go out there and put up the kind of lack of numbers that you have and just be a net negative for this team your entire career here, that's something that can't happen when you are drafted number, 21 overall, whatever it was.
I think it was 20.
And then Jefferson was 21?
Either way,
regardless,
they were back
in the top 20,
back,
top 25.
It cannot happen. It just simply cannot happen. It did. Disappointing, and that's why he's now traded. Now you also have where Davion Taylor, the third-round pick, he's now gone. So great draft. Great draft. Hey, Jalen Hurts, maybe he can make up for it by being your starting quarterback moving forward after this season. 610-632-0975. I'm looking here on Twitter, and they have the new 2023 NBA Icon Edition jerseys and the association jerseys. The Sixers didn't make many changes as I look at the home uniform, the white, with the normal blue along the side, the 3 stripes, the same font with Philadelphia, 21 for Embiid. Nothing seems to have changed. And then I see some of the newer ones that are just ugly, like the Utah Jazz. This new bright neon thing that they have. It's terrible.
Where do you see these?
I was looking on the NBA.com. Nike.com, sorry. Nike.com. And, yeah, it's just terrible. It's not good.
I feel like...
Have you seen it?
I haven't.
Neon
No, I'm
green?
going to check it out now. I feel like some of those jerseys they do,
awful.
They try way too hard.
Really bad, yes.
But it's just like, keep it simple. Sometimes the simplest things look the best when it comes to a jersey.
I hate the Celtics. It's an
Well, me too,
iconic
but-
jersey. It is. It just is.
Yeah. Oh, no,
the green.
it absolutely is. Yeah,
it just,
absolutely.
It is. The Jazz with this neon green thing, the Icon Edition.
Just trying too hard.
The numbers are like this big. Like really this big on the jersey. You just
The entire size of the front of the jersey.
Yeah, come on, man. It's terrible. 610-632-0975. Frank in Houston next. Talking about Jalen Reagor. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Devon. Thanks for taking the call.
Oh, thank you.
Listen, I mean, I speak for myself. I can't say I speak for the fan base, but as far as I'm concerned, it's not hate. It's resentment. And
That's
I think
why I
there's
said heat.
resentment.
That's why I changed it to heat.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, heat. Yeah, absolutely. But I think it goes both ways. I mean, Howie had a future Hall of Famer at his fingertips, and he passed on him. Well, okay. But you see this guy Reagor now. And as far as I'm concerned, whether you're one pick before Justin Jefferson, one pick after Justin Jefferson, or anywhere in that tier of first-round draft picks, you're held to a standard. And loose parameters to that standard, but every fan in their mind has a standard of a first-round draft pick. That standard is production. That standard's helping the team to take the next step. Never saw that. We gave him 1 year. Year 2, camp, he looks exciting. He's making great catches.
Sure.
And then the production lacks again, and there's more resentment there as far as I'm concerned. And you're watching the other guy set rookie records. Well, okay, there's more resentment now. All right, because you want something you can't have at this point. And then, again, whether it was his fault for getting drafted there or not, you watch a game where Jalen Hurts does his job in the Giants game and puts 2 balls right on him.
Sure.
And he lets the ball hit him in the face in a crucial point of that game.
Yep.
So, I think heat is fair. I think resentment's fair. And then when he starts to clap back to the fan base on Twitter, I mean, you might as well seal your own fate at that point.
Absolutely.
You can't do that.
You can't win that game. You're not winning that game, especially here.
No,
I don't know what it's like in other cities, Frank. I know you're in Houston, so I don't know what happens when DeAndre Hopkins, who doesn't, but would make said something and it goes the other way. Here with this fan base, that's not going to fly.
No, it's immature, and you're baiting the fan base at that point, and it's immature. It's silly. So, I mean, listen, I wish the kid good luck in Minnesota. I hope he turns his career around. I don't hate the guy Jalen Reagor, but I mean, I resent the player Jalen Reagor.
Yep.
I mean, that you make a pick like that, I think it sets the team back at least a year, especially at a skill position like that.
All right, and when Tom brings up, Frank, that you then go and address it by drafting Devontae Smith, which was needed. You take the guy that's there. Thanks for the call, Frank. Really appreciate it. And then you look at what happened earlier in number 12. Oakland does what Oakland does, now Las Vegas. They take Henry Ruggs the third. You reach because of the speed. Now he's no longer in the NFL because of something stupid that he did. All right, then you go to Jerry Jeudy at 15. All right, cool. But then things are starting to change. CeeDee Lamb is dropping. Dallas has the 17th overall pick. Many of us in the moment, again, we were doing the draft show that night. Myself, Joe Torti, Tyler Zulli. Like, yo, trade up. Go to 16. They don't need a wide receiver, but Jerry Jones is one of those guys that will take a wide receiver even though you don't need him. And he does just that because you don't move up. CeeDee Lamb, he's number 1 wide receiver right now for the Dallas Cowboys. We haven't seen him in this spot, but we'll find out. Then you go and you take him at 21. You select Reagor at 21, Jefferson at 22. Then you go with Brandon Ayuk at 25 to San Francisco. and you move on to the second round, and that's when the others start to come off the board. From T. Higgins, who is number 2 on the Cincinnati Bengals.
Who might be a number 1 on any other team.
Correct. Michael Pittman, second pick right there in the second round, to the Indianapolis Colts. Their number 1 wide receiver has produced, and even with question marks at the quarterback position. You also have after that Laviska Shenault. Yes, not a great start in Jacksonville. Still talent there. He's now in Carolina, traded to the Panthers. Who else? KJ Hamler, a number 2 on that, or a number 3, whatever, but he's part of it. Again, this is what we talked about. At worst, be good enough to produce with your team. Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, KJ Hamler. He has a role. He has a role before his injury. I remember last year he had one bad drop, a bad drop. He was wide open deep down the field, and they got him and they hit him, and he missed out. But still, a productive receiver. Chase Claypool, a productive receiver. He lit up the Eagles when he had 3 touchdowns in that game when the Steelers played the Eagles. So all we're saying, and Van Jefferson later on, Super Bowl champion, he contributed to that in the win. Denzel Mims, he wants out of New York. He's not happy with his situation, but he didn't like Philadelphia anyway when he rode around talking about how dirty it looked and all that stuff. So all we were asking for is just production. Do something instead of making excuses. And after that, the immaturity that he's talking about is now pointing the finger back at everybody else when we didn't drop those passes. We didn't run our routes improperly. We didn't shorten our routes. That was you, not us.
And that was the other thing. There seemed to be a lack of effort and a lack of truly wanting to get better. It seemed like he would shorten up on routes, as you mentioned, not always go 100%, especially if the ball wasn't, or, the quarterback wasn't looking his way, the ball wasn't going his way. You saw a lack of drive from a guy like Jalen Reagor, and that can't happen when you are a first-round pick, when you are someone that we need production from at the wide receiver position. I look back on his stats. He had 28 games as an Eagle, 24 of them he started in. He only had 4 games over 50 yards. He only had 3 games with 5 or more catches. That is not productive.
5 catches or more with no yards, though.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, pretty much. It's just, it wasn't good enough here, and there seemed to be nothing inside of him that wanted to truly get better and prove everyone wrong here in Philadelphia and around the NFL and the NFL world.
Here's the other good part. That was always fun. His father used to play for the Eagles, Monte Reagor. He just went on a block streak.
He blocked
on
you,
social
didn't he?
media. No, he never blocked me.
Oh, he didn't block you?
No, he never blocked me, and I don't know why. Maybe because I didn't talk about him much on social media. Mine was more on the air, and my frustration with his son and the lack of production in general. Yeah, his dad, awful. Blocked Jamie. Monte Reagor did.
Well, I don't blame him.
And then I don't even think he's on Twitter anymore, Monte Reagor. So he blocked all these people. He knows what Philadelphia's all about. He knows his son wasn't producing, but again, make excuses for everything else. Stand up for your son. You always do that, but also tell the truth to your son behind the scenes. Tell him, son, don't worry about all that. Just go out there and produce. He didn't. That was always fun to me, though, to watch his dad sit there and make excuses and block everybody, searching his name, obviously, to see what's going on. And all you're reading is the bad stuff about him because he's not producing. That's not us. That's him. And yes, Howie for drafting him, but at some point you got to take your own responsibility, and that's what it was to me.
Yeah, and I understand.
Come on, dude.
Defending your son and everything like that, but at a point, and then the same can be said about Miles Sanders, Jalen Reagor when he was here, at a point, social media is strictly hurting you. Ben Simmons, when he was here, also, another one to add in. Just get off social media. If you are not producing, if you are not living up to expectations, if you are not putting the work in and you're not doing what you should be doing as an NFL wide receiver, as a first-round NFL wide receiver, just get off of social media. And I guess the same can be said for your dad as well, because you're not helping anyone's case, especially your son's.
No, not at all. Not at all. So that's where we started today, this morning, about Jeff McClain's story in the Enquirer and the Enquirer.com. Jalen Reagor didn't deserve the hate from Eagle fans. Okay, fine. Did he deserve the heat that he received during his time here? 610-632-0975. And where have they improved the most? We didn't get a lot of that in the first hour. We want to continue that. We'll introduce our side topic and all that. Talk about the Phils. 610-632-0975. Where has this team improved the most now that the roster is set? Tom, on the other side, I ask you to let us know where you felt like the team has improved the most. We'll get that from Tom. We'll get that from you. We'll read some of the tweets as we go along here. And by the way, if you didn't hear, the Broncos and new quarterback as we begin the 22 season, Russell Wilson, they agreed to terms on a 5-year massive extension, according to Ian Rappaport, $250 million, and he gets a $165 million guarantee. And that's officially locked in, as Ian Rappaport says here on Twitter. That's a lot of cash. A lot of cash.
Yes, it is. It's a pretty good day to be Russell Wilson right now.
Not bad. Not bad. He's living it up.
Hasn't played one snap for the Broncos.
He gets a new change, right? All the vibes are good. I'm sure the receivers are feeling much better because they don't have Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater or anything like that. They're in a good spot now with Russell Wilson. Is he the same quarterback? I don't know. Things kind of went ugly in Seattle. He wasn't good. A lot of that stuff you can put on Pete Carroll, but he also wasn't good himself. So let's see the changes that are made there with Russell Wilson, who gets a big-time extension, $165 million guaranteed, 5-year, $245 million extension as the new quarterback for the Denver Broncos. All right, we'll get to the Phils on the other side. We'll keep the Eagles rolling. 610-632-0975. It's the Midday Show. Devon Givens in for Anthony Gargano, in for Andrew Salchunas. It's Tom Alvord right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Offensive explosion. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by Whole Foods Market. At Whole Foods Market, enjoy 20% off sustainable wild-caught fresh king salmon fillets through September 6th while supplies last. Plus, Prime members save an extra 10%. Shop in-store or online. Terms apply. Yes, after 2 straight embarrassing losses to the Diamondbacks, the Phillies offense woke up, winning the series finale by a score of 18-2 last night. The Phillies had 22 hits in the game and went 15 for 29 with runners in scoring position. This comes after just having one runner get into scoring position the game before. Every single Philly starter had a multi-hit game. Bailey Falter was lights out once again as he went 6 in the 3rd innings, allowed just 1 run with 6 strikeouts. He did leave the game in the 7th with an apparent groin injury, but it was just precautionary. Next up for the Phillies is a day off before heading to San Francisco for a 3-game series with the Giants. The Philadelphia Union clinched a playoff spot last night with a 4-1 win over Atlanta United FC. The Union have won 3 straight games in which they've outscored their opponents 16-1. And we are officially 1 week away from the start of the NFL season. Keep it locked to The Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alvord, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Anthony Gargano Show on 97.5 The Fanatic.
The wait is almost over. A new football season is about to begin. So get ready for the NFL Week 1 action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. To celebrate the return of football, DraftKings is giving new customers a can't-miss offer. Bet just $5 on any football game and get $200 in free bets instantly. One action for opening night, everyone can experience the thrill of DraftKings early win promotion. Get up 7, you win. Bet on any NFL team of your choice, and if your team leads by 7 points at any point during the game, you get paid instantly. Even if your team loses, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code FANATIC. That's code FANATIC, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Pennsylvania only. Bonus issued as free bets. 1 early win token issued at opt-in. Money lines bet only. Deposit and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/football terms. In partnership with Meadows Racetrack and Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If the best part of your workday is spent listening to us on your drive to work and back, maybe it's time your workday was spent somewhere else. Many of the companies you hear advertising on The Fanatic are hiring talented, hardworking people just like you. Visit the Fanatic job board at 975thefanatic.com/now hiring for links to career opportunities with our partners.
Are you a window and door installer looking for work or a change? Work for a locally owned company in business for over 30 years. Make your own hours. Get paid weekly. Thermal Quality Windows. Hiring now. Visit thermalqualitywindows.com. thermalqualitywindows.com. Are you a skilled carpenter with a creative side? Looking for an opportunity to earn top pay, work in an exciting and motivating environment where safety is always number 1, but having fun is a close second? Apply now. ValleyGroveConstruction.com.
These are just a few of our advertisers now hiring. Check out the full list at 975thefanatic.com/now hiring. We love working with these companies, and we're sure you will too.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
FanFest is the biggest party of the year for Philly sports fans, and FanDuel wants to send you there. Now, new FanDuel customers can get a pair of tickets to the Fanatic FanFest courtesy of America's #1 sportsbook. Just sign up with promo code FanFest. Make your first deposit and place a bet of $25 or more to get a pair of FanFest tickets for October 1st at Xfinity Live. That's promo code FanFest. FanDuel, make every moment more.
Must be 21 plus and present in PA. First 300 new users only. Minimum bet $25. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I thought we were going to the beer store.
We are.
But we passed 3 already.
We're going to the Beer and Cigar Superstore. B&B Beverages in historic Doylestown. This place is amazing.
That's like a 20-minute drive.
Relax. It's just minutes off the 202 byway. They have thousands of craft beers to choose from. Their staff knows everything about beer, and they have a larger selection of cigars than most cigar stores. Check them out at bnbbeverages.com.
You're going to drive me to drink.
Actually, I'm going to drive you to B&B Beverages, the Beer and Cigar Superstore. We'll drink when we get home.
That's the sound of a crack in the ceiling found at a home inspection. But with a Realtor by your side, a newfound leak might only cause minor worries. With their expertise, a Realtor can suggest a credit at closing and even connect you to a contractor to help you shore up that leak and alleviate your worries. When it comes to cracks in your plans, the expertise of a Realtor can make all the difference. The difference between an agent and a Realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
I absolutely love my dog, but the constant shedding, not so much. But then I got a Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit, and it is amazing. These super thick cloths pick up a crazy amount of hair. Just look at all that. And that was from just one swipe. And the best part? Sweeper's so much easier to maneuver than a broom or a vacuum, easily getting around chairs and under the couch. You're right. Now I can focus on you, not your shedding. Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit. Because shed happens.
You know, energy costs can dramatically affect your company's bottom line. How about putting 30 to 40% of those costs back into your company at little or no cost to the company? At Beyond the Bulb, they provide energy efficiency upgrades to commercial and industrial customers in the PECO and PPL utility service areas. They're energy efficiency experts. They were just awarded the PPL Direct Discount Contractor of the Year. They're going to use local rebate programs to help offset the costs to your business. So go to beyondthebulb.com. That's beyondthebulb.com, or dial 484-246-6542 for a brighter bottom line.
Hey guys, Bob Cooney here. FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge, wants you ready for college football. This week, new customers get $150 in free bets for week 1. Place a $5 bet and get $150 in free bets, win or lose. Bet college football any way you like. You might look at some of the big names in college football. They're going to be laying some big lines against lesser opponents. Is that how you want to go? Or maybe some of the local teams. Temple, Duke? Take a look at it. Are you new to FanDuel? Well, the app is easy to use, and they're always hooking you up with great odds, and they pay fast. See why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook? Download the FanDuel app today and sign up with promo code BOB. Place a $5 bet to get $150 in free bets. College football is back, baby. That's promo code BOB.
21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
11 a.m., 97.5 The Fanatic. Devon Givens in for Anthony Gargano here on the Midday Show. Tom Alvord in for Andrew Souchunas, 610-632-0975. Back tomorrow as well. Tyler Zulli in. Tom's bailing. So we got to have Tyler in here too.
I wasn't asked to work Friday.
Fair enough.
So
Fair enough.
I just do what I'm told.
We're going to do Family Game Day tomorrow.
Nice. Very fun.
Have a little fun. Family Game Day.
Good.
As everybody
Looking
heads
forward
into
to
the
it.
weekend. You doing anything this weekend?
Yeah, just hang. Going down to the shore one last time.
Got the show on Sunday, right?
You got the show on Sunday, yes.
There you go.
So, little quick trip here or there. I got a couple fantasy drafts down there. So just enjoying some time off and looking forward to football season.
So I have a fantasy draft tonight.
Okay.
9 o'clock. Because remember, if we were doing our normal time from 7 to 10 on a Thursday following Cousins Corner, you and I already had a deal. I'm on the air.
We did. I forgot
You
about
have
this.
to do my draft.
Yes. I'm doing your draft for you while working. I forgot about that.
Right, yeah. So now that I'm here, I can do the draft myself. So thank you, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate
I'm glad to help. No problem.
And, of course, I don't know the pick yet, but we'll find out later.
You like finding out right as the draft starts or finding out
we normally
before?
get it like an hour beforehand.
I like doing like a couple of days or like a week before. So you can
Yeah,
mock
so
a little
I
bit.
did another one, and that one I did know a few days in advance. I had the 7th pick.
A little bit more helpful.
So I was like, okay, cool. I can think about this one. It was easy for me because you go running back. Cooper Kupp is going to go. Everybody's still going to go running back. Bang, give me Justin Jefferson.
He lasts that long, absolutely.
Took him at 7.
That's a bad job by your draft mates. That's what that is.
No, it wasn't.
Letting
It
him
was a
play.
great job by my draft
Not to
mates.
you, yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So, yep.
That's a good pick by you.
I just had to do it. So we'll see how things go for me tonight. You said you have a couple this weekend.
Yeah,
so.
a couple this weekend.
All right, cool. But look, man, as far as the Birds go, and you already talked about the Jalen Reagor piece, where have they improved the most as far as, I said the secondary, I think they've improved just because you add a better pick with Bradbury. And Steven Nelson was good last year. He was good. He was decent. But I think they've improved with Bradbury, keeping Maddox in the slot, and then going out there and doing what they've done now with the secondary, with Gardner Johnson there, Chauncey Gardner Johnson there at the safety position, along with Marcus Epps, who I still have questions about until I see it. I like him. Loved him in the role that he was in, but he's going to start. I have to accept it. They say he's pretty good. Let's see it. But I do think overall as a secondary, they are better. Where do you feel like, for you, they've improved the most?
Yeah, so I think there's a ton of good options out there. Love the secondary pick. I think you could look linebacker. You could look at defensive line potentially. There's so many out there. To me, where this team has improved most is the wide receiver position. And that's something we've been looking to improve here in Philadelphia, since Terrell Owens was here in 2004? Maybe that Deshaun Jackson, Derby Macklin year. Other than that, those couple of years.
Right.
We've been looking to upgrade the wide receiver position here in Philadelphia for half a decade now, if not longer. They did a great job by picking Devontae Smith last year. Looks like he has some potential there. Guy was open all the time last season, still a ton of potential. He's now your wide receiver too. You bring in a guy like Zach Pascal, who I think is an upgrade over a guy like Greg Ward, and that's the position he's most likely going to be in at the 4th receiver. Greg Ward, he showed some flashes here. His career season high, however, was just 419 yards. Zach Pascal's been over 600 yards twice in his career, both years, 2019 and 2020. Had over 40 catches, had 5 touchdowns. As your 4th receiver, I do believe that's an upgrade over a guy like Greg Ward. Another year of Quez Watkins. We'll see how he does. I like what I saw last season. We'll see how he improves. And then, oh, by the way, I forgot to mention A.J. Brown, who is potentially a top 10 receiver.
Oh, yeah, him.
In all of football. Oh, yes, him, who had caught for, in his 3 years, the first 2 years, over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns his first year, 11 touchdowns his second year. And in his third year, last year with Tennessee, he had 869 yards and 5 touchdowns in just 13 games, so he missed 14 games. If he's healthy, that's a 1,000-yard receiver every single year. A red zone threat who's going to expand and open the field so much for the offense around him. Jalen Hurts and his legs, the running game, Dallas Goddard, who I didn't even pair with the wide receiver core, but that's another vertical threat there. So to me, they're all good options, but that wide receiver core is completely improved, night and day from last season. So that is my answer, the wide receiver core.
Yeah, I can't. I don't think anybody can argue with that. Looking at where they were last year, Jalen Reagor starting, Quez Watkins, your third, Greg Ward, all the names that you mentioned, and now you have A.J. Brown atop. You can argue because we've done this already, where you've put together a list of the wide receivers. Some people have him in the top 10, some have him at like number 12. He's right there, but we know what today's game is: heavy wide receivers. That's how talented the group is, that position is. So, but you know he's that good. And he gets his new extension. He gets his contract. Devontae Smith, you hope that he's improved in year 2, and adding Zach Pascal and still the speed of Quez Watkins, where he believes that he is number one, the fastest guy in the league. And he just doesn't have to be thrust into that spot where he is not supposed to be as a starter, but a specialist that he is, and how you can change things up. So I like that one, and I think that's fair for where they were. And that's where it's always going. I heard Jamie say this morning. It's always going to go back to Jalen Hurts. So he has the weapons. Now go out there and get it done. Go out there.
He has the offensive line in front of him to protect him as well. So
the question is, again, still the running back position with Miles Sanders missing another day of practice.
It's been, 2 weeks now?
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. I think Tim said it was 13 days or 14 days.
That's an issue.
That's a problem. That's a problem. Now, if he doesn't practice next Tuesday or Wednesday, then he's most likely out of game one.
Out of game one, yeah. No, it's definitely a big question mark going into the season. I'm curious if they're done adding. Do they potentially add another running back that's just a depth guy?
That's the question.
Do they look to make a bigger move like a Kareem Hunt or an Alexander Madison? But right now, from all reports, or from some reports out there, it seems like Kenneth Gainwell didn't take as big of a step as they were hoping. Boston Scott's a nice player. I think you can improve over a guy like Boston Scott. As excited as we are about...
They picked up P. Ryan.
Yes,
he's now on the practice squad.
But,
but he's on the practice squad.
There's a reason he's on the practice squad. There's a reason he was available. As excited as we are about this offense, that is still a big question mark when it comes to the backfield.
Is that the only hole that you feel like they have right now?
I still worry about the safety a little bit. I do, because I'm not completely sold on Marcus Epps until I see it.
Because we just don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough of it. And Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, I'm very excited about the name. I'm excited about the person that comes with the player. This is a guy that's played under 100 snaps as a safety in the NFL. I know he played in college. I know the nickel cornerback position is similar to the safety position. They're asked to do certain things and similar things. So to me, I understand why people are excited. I still am a little hesitant because he hasn't done it at the NFL level, and that's what they're going to be asking him to do. Hey, go out there and be our best safety this year. So I worry a little bit about that, but when it comes to the whole, it's probably the running back.
But apparently the way, and we're going to have morning thoughts here in just a second. We'll get to the phones again, 610-632-0975. Everybody we see there. The way that Jonathan Gannon likes to use his personnel, though, where you can have him coming up in the box, you add another safety on the back end. Sure. The versatility that Jonathan Gannon, this is what started off the show for us last night. Jonathan Gannon has to have it all together, because you have a lot of pieces, and if you can feel like you can, there's interchangeable things based on what you want to do, he must be able to find ways, and they have to feel comfortable in thinking that Gardner-Johnson can do this by making a trade, not having another safety there that has started in the NFL, Anthony Harris, on the practice squad, but he's not on the 53. They have to feel comfortable with this, knowing that what the league is today, what he's able to do, ball skills, his physicality up in the box, all the tenacious style of play that he has, all of that will translate to a starting role. We've seen other corners do it. The one example, I'm not saying he's going to be Malcolm Jenkins, but Malcolm Jenkins has done it. We've seen other corners move from cornerback to safety, and it work out. So when you're drafted, they look at and they try to figure out if you can do multiple things, and this is one of the multiple things. So 610-632-0975. All right, it is 11:10, so we got to get to our morning thoughts, man.
Wake up, Philadelphia!
No! God, please, no! No!
Time now for Morning Thoughts.
Hey, lady! Shut up! Will you just shut your trap? Shut up! Please go away. Let me sleep, for the love of God!
Because What were you thinking about this morning?
Well, I'm not Cuz, but he is my family. It's my guy. But what I was thinking about this morning, first of all, I was like, would you please shut up, too, to my alarm because I got done last night at 10 o'clock in a quick turnaround for me.
Very quick.
I'm all right, though. I'm good. But the first thing I thought about, because last night after watching the Phillies, I then allowed myself to watch a little bit of a movie a little bit, and I was watching Rush Hour, right?
Classic.
It was there. I was watching it, and my morning thought was, as I was thinking about it, best buddy cops movies.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't have to be.
A ton out there.
It wasn't, not just the comedies. You have your more serious ones like Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt in Seven. But it was like, man, that was a great one with what Rush Hour did. The franchise was great. Chris Tucker doesn't like to do those types of movies anymore. That's disappointing, but that's more of a faith thing. He doesn't want to curse anymore like he used to. And his best role maybe being, Day-Day and Friday. But best buddy cop movies, as I was watching it last night, getting ready this morning, and there were a lot that I thought about. If you know me, you know my favorite of all time is Eddie Murphy, and Beverly Hills Cop is my favorite movie, so you can look at him and Judge Reinhold, or just him and Taggart and Rosewood with Axel Foley in the movie. Tom, you have a best buddy cop movie? Doesn't have to be a comedy. It could just be anything.
Yeah.
I just gave you 7 with Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt.
There you go. Not exactly a comedy.
Not at all. No. What's in the box? That was bad.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was bad.
To me, I'm more of a comedy guy. To me, I went with a kind of an underrated one. You ever seen the movie The Nice Guys?
Absolutely.
That is one of my favorite movies. One of the most underrated movies out there.
Hilarious. I was watching it about 3 weeks ago.
Were you really? It's got
Gator.
humor. It's got suspense, a little twist to it at the end. I really like that movie. If you haven't seen it, go out there and see it. You have Ryan Gosling and you have Russell Crowe. It is, and they have a really good pair. They have great chemistry.
I'm sorry, I went with the other guys. You went with...
Yes. Nice Guys.
Nice
Yes.
Guys. Yeah, and the daughter was funny in there, too. She was hilarious.
Yes, she was. She was very good. So have you seen The Nice Guys?
I've seen The Nice Guys, yes.
The Nice Guy, Other Guys is also a great one. I think it's a little bit overrated of a movie.
Ryan Gosling was great in that movie.
He was really good in that movie.
He was.
And Russell Crowe was good, too. Like I said, they had really good chemistry. So that's an underrated one for me because I'm sure there's a ton of good answers out there. So to me, it's The Nice Guys, Ryan Gosling, and Russell Crowe.
I thought that was a good one. About the, it was based back in the 70s?
70s, yeah.
Yeah, and I normally don't like stuff that goes back in. Even I'm a guy, okay, you guys can make fun of me. I don't like period pieces. I don't care how far back how 80s. I'm like, all right, 70s, 60s. I don't like when they go back to, that stuff. That's just me. That's just me. It's my thing. Even though I love Harlem Nights and Life and certain ones I can get into, Untouchables and all that type of stuff. But, yes, that's a problem of mine. But anyway, that movie was well done.
Yes, it was.
And for Ryan Gosling, the humor in it, the comedy part of it, and how he went about it, Russell Crowe, the daughter. I've seen, where was she? Did I see her like Spider-Man or something? Maybe. I think the daughter, maybe she's the kid that was also in Spider-Man that is now with the newer Spider-Man with Tom Holland and Zendaya. I think she was one of the girls in the school.
In that movie. I'll look it up.
Maybe. I think. She at least looks like the kid. But, so that was my morning thought because after the Phillies, watched a little bit of Rush Hour. And actually, it was Chris Tucker's birthday yesterday, I think it was. 51.
Everything connected.
And maybe that's why I was on and I saw it because of his birthday. But, yeah. That was what came to mind, just some good buddy cop, the people who've teamed up in movies. And maybe we can keep that going with the people a little bit when they call in and talk about the Birds, the Phils, anything that you have on your mind. Some of those buddy cop team-ups. There.
Duos, if you will.
Yeah, the duos.
Okay. I like it.
What was your morning thought?
My morning thought. Today I woke up just appreciating greatness because we're seeing a lot of greatness in sports right now. We saw Serena Williams last night in her final, which is going to be potentially her final U.S. Open, going out there and just doing Serena Williams things. That's something that we're going to
doing the doubles with Venus.
Is she doing that
during this as well? I think today, maybe.
Maybe. I'll have to double check. But one of the last times we're going to see Serena Williams, and she still goes out there and continues to be maybe the greatest tennis player of all time, men or women, as you mentioned before the show to myself. We have Albert Pujols, who might be the best baseball player I've seen. Now, when you look at him now, especially if you're younger, you see this, what looks like a heavy-set dude who's only playing every other day for the Cardinals, who hits an occasional home run. No, at his peak, Albert Pujols might have been the greatest player I've seen in my 28 years on this earth. He's out there. He's hitting home runs every other night. 6 away from 700, I believe it is. I see Shohei Ohtani out there, who is just an absolute cyborg. He's a freak, and he's not talked about enough, much like his counterpart. Mike Trout is not talked about enough.
They both need to get out of there.
I know they do.
Bottom line.
It's a dumpster fire. It might be the worst-run organization in all of sports if you actually think about it, because they have no farm system despite not being any good. But Shohei Ohtani is doing things that we've never seen done before. Last night, he became the only player in MLB history, according to Rhett Bollinger, that's how you say his name, I believe, with 10 wins on the mound and 30 homers at the plate in the same season. Also, 100 strikeouts on the mound and 30 homers at the plate this season. He's doing it all while being their only offensive force besides Mike Trout. So I just was appreciating some of the greatness we're seeing in sports, because sometimes I don't think we just sit down and appreciate greatness we see in front of us when it comes to our sport.
No, it's right there in front of us. And when you look at Serena, vintage-type performance, she had a tiebreaker in there last night, going up against the number 2 player in the world and being able to compete with a 26-year-old at the age of 40 the way that she is, and having all of this go with it. And she had one of the best responses to a question that we've heard in a long time. So when we talk about guys, how they don't handle it properly, or athletes not handling things properly when asked questions or going on social media as such, and we speak about Rager and Miles Sanders and how they just continue to put their foot in their mouths. Serena, when asked, was she surprised about her performance last night? She said, "I'm Serena. I'm just Serena."
That's mic drop there.
It's just like, yo, what can you? Yeah, she is just Serena.
Like the MJ shoulder shrug. Like, man, I'm just that good.
I'm just Serena.
That's it.
Yeah, it's like the Kevin Durant. You know who I am.
It's that simple.
Simple.
She also is playing in the doubles today with Venus Williams, her sister, obviously, at 7 o'clock. I don't know who she's going against because I can't pronounce the names, but she will be going at 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah, and the tiebreakers that were in there as well, and the back and forths in that match last night. I hope she keeps it going, because to see people react like they are, it's must-see TV right now. It's must-see TV. So, yeah, the greatness that we're seeing with her, Shohei Ohtani, as you talked about, he has to get out of there. Is he going to win the MVP, or is Aaron Judge going to win the MVP? The Judge is probably going to win the MVP.
Judge is going to win it
because of their record and what he's doing. If home runs hit, he's
going for the home run record. I don't know if we'll get to 73, but 62 is an actual possibility. And the Yankees are just having that good of a season. I think we're becoming spoiled with Shohei Ohtani to an extent, because what we're seeing is something unbelievable that we may never see again and we haven't seen before. But I do think because of how poorly the Angels have been record-wise, because he won it last season, and because how good Judge and the Yankees have been this season, for the most part, not so much the last month or so, I do think Judge wins it.
I do too. I do too.
Well-deserved also.
Where is, as you talk about greatness, so when you talk about greatness, sometimes you then have to go with the greatness in the Mount Rushmore of greatness.
Okay.
Where is Serena along the Mount Rushmore? Because you try to stay away from 2 people in one sport.
Yes.
So if you go with Jordan,
Gretzky, I think, has to be up there.
Maybe even saying, Willie Mays might be the best baseball player.
Okay.
Or something like that. Or some would say Barry Bonds if he didn't have to resort to the steroids and all.
Tiger Woods has to be up there.
And that's the thing about the Mount Rushmore. You have to extend it. It can't just be 4. It has to be
multiple heads.
A little bit longer. She has to be a part of the Mount Rushmore.
Not just
women's tennis. She's arguably the best tennis player of all time. To see Tiger react in the stands as a fan, doing his normal celebration, right? And she did the same thing. That was dope to see that. No matter how you feel about Tiger Woods, you can't say that wasn't a cool moment to see that.
Speaking of in the fans at the U.S. Open, did you see Mike Tyson?
I saw Mike Tyson. Yeah, man, he had a couple of, edibles, I'm sure.
That's all right.
He was chilling.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. He was enjoying himself.
It's a summer night. Yeah. He was, he's wiping his head with the towel and all that stuff. So it was the heat plus the edibles, I'm sure, that got to Mike Tyson as he was sitting there. But to have all the people, I mean, you see everybody from Anthony Anderson. I swore I saw Pat Sajak sitting in the stands on the first day, which was Monday. Again, Mike Tyson seeing.
It's must-see TV right now.
It's must-see TV. Where is she on the Mount Rushmore?
I think when you talk about
is she on the Mount Rushmore?
To me, I mean, Djokovic is so good too. Novak Djokovic.
Yeah.
They're right there. Now it's being 28. Oh, look at that.
That's okay. That's all right. We went long.
She's right up there. I'm fine with putting Serena up there because she might be the most dominant athlete I've ever seen play any sport, especially a solo sport, individual sport.
Yeah. That's our morning thoughts.
Pretty good.
That's dope. She was great, man, last night. She was great. And you love seeing everybody root for her. And is she on the Mount Rushmore? Where is she on the Mount Rushmore? Do you just have to extend it a little bit just from the normal 4 and maybe make it like 6?
I can get into some Mount Rushmore talk. I'm all about the GOAT talk.
Yeah, because she's one of the greatest of all time. Simple. One of the greatest of all time. Having everybody. Dionne Warwick was in the stands last night. And I'm disappointed in the announcers that decided to go with, yes, that was Gladys Knight. That was not Gladys Knight. Stop. Come on. Let's show some respect to the great. Let's show some respect to the greats. Dionne Warwick was there, not Gladys Knight. Stop it. All right, 610-632-0975. Don, we start with you when we come back, so hang tight with where the Eagles have improved. Kyle, everybody else, will get to the tweets. J. Cole is on the NBA 2K23 cover. You should be on the cover of a video game. What video game you'd be on the cover of?
I don't know if I got one. I don't know. Radio producers.
That's pretty
2K,
cool, though, 22? Man. I mean, the guy
23?
plays in pro sports. He gets these contracts and
he's living the dream. That's what he's doing.
Exactly.
Dreamville.
He's during his profession. He loves his profession as a musician, as an artist, as a rapper, and he does that. Then he gets he has a sneaker with Puma. He plays professional leagues. Now he's on the cover of a video game. Hey, come on, man.
Married his college sweetheart, to my knowledge, I'm pretty sure.
On.
Pretty nice.
Just living it up. All right, we come back. Where have the Eagles improved? We got to get into the Phillies with the win last night, the day off today, and they get ready for the San Francisco Giants beginning tomorrow for a 3-game series as they wrap up the 6-game road trip.
Love it. Love it.
Hope that they can get this sweep against Gabe Kapler and the gang before they return home. We give out the number 610-632-0975 and give us some Mount Rushmores. Let us know, where's Serena stand on this as she's making this final run at the age of 40, and also the buddy cops. I was watching Rush Hour. Some buddy cops. Let's have some fun on this Thursday, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies wake up. I'm Tom Alborn. This update is brought to you by Empire State Building. Immerse yourself in an authentic New York experience at the Empire State Building Observatory. Get your tickets at empirestatebuilding.com/radio. Open daily. Reservations required. Yes, after being outscored 25-10 in the first 2 games of the series, the Phillies responded in a major way. They finished with 22 hits and went 15 for 29 with runners in scoring position in their 18-2 drubbing of the Diamondbacks in the series finale. Every single Phillies starter had at least 2 hits and at least 1 RBI. 18 runs is the most the Phillies have scored this season, and they did it all without hitting a single home run. The Phillies now sit at 73-58 on the year and are a half game up on the Padres for the second wild card spot in the NL. Phils get the day off before heading to San Francisco for a 3-game series against Gabe Kapler and the Giants. The Philadelphia Union clinched a playoff spot last night with a 4-1 win over the Atlanta United FC. The Union have won 3 straight games in which they've outscored their opponents 16-1. And we are officially 1 week away from the start of the NFL season. Keep it locked to The Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alborn. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
Anthony Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Attention BetMGM customers. Have a friend who loves sports as much as you do? Here's your chance for both of you to earn a $50 bonus when they sign up through BetMGM's Refer a Friend program. Just sign into your BetMGM account and click on the Refer a Friend program to send your friend a message inviting them to register a new account in the same state you use BetMGM in. Once your friend signs up and makes a deposit, they'll receive a $50 bonus. And once your friend places a bet with their bonus and the wager is settled, you'll receive a $50 bonus as well. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Pennsylvania only. All promotions subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued with non-withdrawable site credit. Site credit expires within 30 days. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. BetMGM Sports in partnership with Hollywood Casino Morgantown.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS or go online at carsforkids.org to donate today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
The Fanatic's Business of Sports is powered by Pico for Business.
Who's got the highest parking spot prices in the National Football League? Vegas, Kansas City, and Dallas? They are the triumvirate at the top of the ladder. Do you know here in Philly, we're paying the 16th highest price, so we're right in the middle. But parking costs in the NFL dwarf the other pro sports. I got to tell you, at those prices, the Broad Street line might be your best option. Businesses of all types and sizes are saving money with Pico because Pico's got the financial incentives and technical expertise to help you reduce your energy use and to save cash. See how Pico's helping businesses like yours take greater control of their energy costs to improve their bottom line. Simply complete a customer survey on Pico's digital portal and an energy profile. The report will be generated for you, and this profile is going to provide specific recommendation based on your facilities, equipment, and energy use with great ways to save while either maintaining or increasing productivity.
In order for small businesses to thrive, they need to be smart, efficient, agile, staying ahead of the market at every turn, and finding ways to do more with less. That's never been more important than it is right now. So for a limited time, Comcast Business is introducing Small Business Savings, a deal for companies across the country. When you call in now, you can get powerful internet for just $39 a month for 12 months. $39 a month. With no annual contract and a money-back guarantee. All on the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. With the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. So if you're a small business owner, don't wait. Call and get started today. Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Offer ends 9/21/22. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 50 megabits per second internet customers only. Requires EcoBill and autopay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Call or go online for details. After promo, regular rates apply.
Progressive presents Married to Your Home.
If you want to leave me for another house, I totally understand.
House? Where's this coming from?
It's just, I know there's some newer homes on the market.
I didn't even know that because I'm not looking.
I bet those other houses don't have a crack in their foundations.
You know that crack doesn't bother me.
No matter how much you already love your house, you'll love it more knowing you could save big bundling your home and auto with Progressive. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Cigars are not a safe alternative to cigarettes. Looking for a premium smoke? Then welcome to the world of Al Capone cigars, where we're keeping it real. Using only premium natural leaf wrappers, Al Capones are hand-rolled for a unique look and smooth flavor. From mellow to bold to the rich flavor of sweet cognac. Al Capone cigars stand out. Elevate your style with Al Capone My Way. Find us at alcaponecigar.com. That's alcaponecigar.com.
Hey, it's Cuz. Spend less and get more during Colonial Marble and Granite's Labor Day sale. Save up to 20% off all marble, granite, quartz countertops, and up to 65% off exotic stone inventory. Get zero money down, 0% interest for up to 18 months on purchases of $19.99 or more. Get your dream kitchen with new countertops from Colonial Marble and Granite. This deal ends Monday, September the 5th. Visit one of their area showrooms or online online at colonialmarble.net.
Hey, it's Jen Scordo. FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge, wants you to get ready for college football. This week, new customers get $150 in free bets for week 1. All you have to do is place a $5 bet and get $150 in free bets, win or lose. Bet college football any way you like. And that means Ohio State, Georgia, or Clemson. You can throw in Alabama if you must. I hate them, so I'm not doing it. But they're a good bet, of course. One of those teams is going to be in the national championship this year. You can bet on that. And you can bet some futures, too. The Heisman playoffs, the options are endless. If you're new to FanDuel, the app is super easy to use. They're always hooking you up with great odds and great boosts, too. And they pay really fast. See why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Download the FanDuel app today. Sign up using my promo code SCORDO. That's SCORDO. Place a $5 bet and get $150 in free bets. College football is back, baby. Make sure you use that promo code SCORDO.
21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Listen to 97.5 The Fanatic everywhere. On Alexa at 975thefanatic.com, the Fanatic app, and now on Odyssey. More of the Anthony Gargano Show now.
On 97.5 The Fanatic.
11:31 at 97.5 The Fanatic. Midday show. Devon Givens in for the Cuss. Andrew Salchunas. That's Tom Alvord today and tomorrow in as well. Tyler Zulli jumped in on Twitter on the text board and said Michael Phelps. Got to include Michael Phelps.
It's not a bad one either.
It's not a bad one. 610-632-0975. Must include Michael Phelps. We're not getting away from the Birds and where they've improved the most, and also the Jalen Reagor piece from Jeff McClain, theinquirer.com, stating that he didn't deserve the hate from Eagle fans while he was here. We disagreed. Not necessarily hate, but certainly the heat that he was given. He deserved every bit of it. Where do you stand on that? 610-632-0975. And as far as the Phillies go, as Tom mentioned, a big win last night, 18-2, as they now head to San Francisco with the day off, a much-needed day off. They've been playing for a while. They needed a day off, so they traveled to San Francisco to take on the Giants. And with what they did last night, let me get 22 hits, the most since, and I was looking at this on television during the game, NBC Sports Philadelphia, 22 hits, the most since July 13th, 2007 versus St. Louis. 18 runs, the most since 2018, April 7th against the Marlins, and 18-plus runs with no home runs. That's the first time since August 17, 1941 against the New York Giants.
First time a team has scored 18 or more runs with no homers since 2010. I saw on SportsCenter earlier. Also, according to Jason Stark, the Phillies went 15 for 29 with runners in scoring position. Only one team in the Baseball Savant database, so that starts in 2008, has had more than 29 ABs with runners in scoring position in a game. The Red Sox had 32 back in 2017, but it was a 15-inning game, and the Phillies had 29 of them in a 9-inning game last night.
That's nuts.
It's a nice response. That's what that is.
That's absolutely what it is. Phil's now half game up on the Padres. In the standings for the second wild card spot, the Brewers are 3 games back after the victory. And let me see. And let me see who plays today since the Phillies are off. The Mets play the Dodgers. And Milwaukee takes on the Diamondbacks. So hopefully the Diamondbacks can help the Phillies out. Keep the things going there.
Speaking of that, Mets and Dodgers, did you see 2 things? Did you see the Timmy Trumpet thing from last night with Edwin Diaz coming out?
I
which
did.
Everybody and their mother was tweeting about.
It was cool. That's why it became annoying at some point because it was all over the place.
The more important and much more cool thing, did you see Brandon Nimmo's catch?
Yes, I did.
That was unbelievable.
It's not like Brandon Marsh's where he almost hurt his knee and his ankle.
No. Similar trajectory and stuff, but he made the
better
catch.
ending.
And then, listen, I'm not giving any props to the Mets, but that catch was pretty unbelievable.
That was dope. It was. Yes, we can't ignore that. Good play is good play. The 11 o'clock hour is brought to you by Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged. Now, got to tell you about this. We have a ticket raid coming up at noon. So if you do not have your FanFest tickets or you have 2 that you won on any of the shows here on the station, but you know other people who want to get involved, We have FanFest. We have a ticket raid that is going on at 12 o'clock. So in 25 minutes, get ready. You go to 97.5thefanatic.com and check it out at 12 o'clock. We're going to have a ticket raid, an online ticket raid, and you will have a chance to join us at FanFest, which will be on October 1st, Saturday at Xfinity Live 1 to 5, brought to you by
FanDuel Sportsbook.
Yes, so a ticket rate. We'll let you know at 12 o'clock. We'll tell you when it's time. When we get back, of course, during that time, let you know. Ticket rate, get a free pair of FanFest tickets, and it is brought to you by, as Tom just said,
FanDuel Sportsbook.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, let's get to the phone, 610-632-0975. And I was talking to Chevy and talking to Mike Vito, and we were getting some of the buddy cops. We got a bunch of them on Twitter, so we'll get to those too. Quite a few of them. I saw Stacy said Starsky and Hutch said that one.
It's a good one.
Quite a bit.
There's a ton out there.
There are a lot out there. When you think about it, there are a lot out there. It's just a matter of how you feel. Like, for an example, if you feel like in 48 hours, Reggie Hammond is a cop. He's technically a cop. He's a convict, right? But he's a cop. Kinda. Or if you go with Kevin Hart and Ride Along, he's not really a cop with Ice Cube, but he's a cop. They team up. So the duos, as you talk about. Let's go to Donald in Lansdowne, 97.5. What's up, Don?
How you guys doing?
Pretty good, man.
I'm back.
Good to have you back.
Yes, I think the linebacker core improved considerably since we won the Super Bowl. And I think the Eagles are going to surprise everybody on special teams with Covey and Allen and Huntley on the practice squad. I know they're going to be protected, and they're going to be going up and down that roster every week. And I'm very excited. I saw some film on Kyren Johnson, the defensive end / outside linebacker that we have.
Yes.
From Kansas.
Yep.
Oh, he blocked a few field goals and blocked the punt. So I thought that was rather interesting also.
Yes,
from the outside.
And that's where we give credit to Howie for putting this team together and looking like you have a lot of different pieces that could help out in general as they start the season and finding some little things, again, as we talk about building a team. When we look at the defensive front, right, Don, as you talk about where he could be a linebacker or a defensive end, but you see there are no stars, but you have a good group of people there that can help out and help you have success along that front. And then when you talk about building a team, you have to have those gunners. You have to have that speed that could be there. And now with Jalen Reagor gone, you ask the question, who's going to be the kick returner? Who's going to be the punt returner? And we'll find out soon enough. But, yeah, I like what they've done.
Can I talk about two players real quick that got released that Harry Roseman should look at?
Sure.
Royce Freeman,
the running back,
product from Oregon, 6 feet, 238, can run over people, runs the read option, also zone read type of running back, and Deterio Drummond from Ole Miss. This guy was used like Deebo Samuel, where he can run the ball and catch the ball from the slot. And he's very effective. And the Dallas Cowboys released him, and I think Denver released Royce Freeman. I think the Eagles need to look at both of those players.
Freeman is a good name, Don, and thanks for the call, man. Really appreciate it. Freeman is a good name. Look, every time we hear a name, running back-wise, especially with all the Miles Sanders stuff going on, from Marlon Mack to Alexander Madison.
Sony Michel,
who was just picked up by the Chargers.
Yeah.
Yes, from the Chargers, that we're going to bring their names up. And understandably so because of the concern right now with the running back room. So Freeman is a decent name. Just a decent name.
Is he an improvement over Boston Scott, who's been in this system for now a year and been with the Eagles for 3 years, do you think?
Not necessarily.
This late into the season.
Just talking about different styles. Like Don said, he can run you over. Boston Scott, he does hit the hole hard. Takes the running lanes that are given to him. Doesn't dance too much until he gets to the second level and tries to make someone miss. So it's an okay name. It's just an okay name.
You're right, though. Every time a name comes up, and you said just running backs, anytime a name that anybody knows comes up and is out there, like Josh Gordon got released, anytime any type of name that someone has heard of gets up, it's always, or becomes available, it's always, Eagles got to get him. Eagles should look at it. Howie should look at it. Not just in waivers and cut day.
That's with any sport.
And with any sport and with any player.
Bring him here.
Yep.
We saw him destroying the Sixers, so bring him here. We saw him scoring 6 goals in one game against the Flyers. Bring him here. We'll fix him. That was their problem. Yep. They couldn't figure it out. We'll fix them. 610-632-0975. All right, Tim McManus from ESPN.com and 97.5 The Fanatic. The Eagles captains. We have them. Do you care to run off a few names off the top of your head who you think captains are for this team?
I'm going to guess Jalen Hurts.
1.
Jason Kelce.
2.
Lane Johnson.
3.
Darius Slay.
4.
How many are there? 6, you said?
7.
7. Slay. I'm going to guess Fletcher Cox.
5.
Fletcher Cox.
You're on a roll.
This is where it gets tricky now.
2 more.
I will
Obviously,
say
some prominent names.
A.J. Brown?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No.
I think that's all I got when it comes to guesses. Oh, Brandon Graham has to be up there.
That's number 6. Special teams.
Jake Elliott.
Yeah.
Nah,
you got all 7 right there.
7
Those
for
are
8.
your captains. 7 for 7. Tom Alvord. Jason Kelce. Jalen Hurts, Lane Johnson. Brandon Graham. Darius Slay, Fletcher Cox, Jake Elliott. No surprises there. None whatsoever. Those are the right choices. Those are your Eagles captains for the upcoming 22 season.
Those are the leaders of the team, so it makes sense that they would be named captains.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 610-632-0975. Cam Reddish, the local product. According to Mark Berman of the New York Post, wants out of New York. I don't blame him.
He just got there.
But even when he got there, Tom Thibodeau wouldn't even play him. Comes in, he scores, he gives you buckets. And, of course, it says here in the quote, an NBA source said Reddish is looking for a larger role, end quote. Of course he is. Didn't work out in Atlanta. It's not working out now with New York. He's not going to get the playing time that he believes he's worthy of, and he wants out. Sixer fans always want to hear a name. Look, the guy can score, though.
He can. He's been on his what?
Score.
This will be his 3rd team in 3 years, though.
The only problem that I heard behind the scenes, and I don't want any of the Reading people getting mad at me. This is not me saying it. This is what I heard. He is kind of difficult. Being in Atlanta where they're rebuilding, it's Trae Young's team and they have their other pieces. He thinks here, clearly, again, that he should have a larger role. I don't know why that makes him difficult for thinking he should. Maybe he's just one of those guys that think he's better than he is. Maybe goes away from what the structure of the play calling is.
Maybe not very coachable, potentially.
Something along those lines. But that was the only thing that I had heard when it came to the 76ers getting involved. We know he can score. Everybody could use scoring. New York is probably not the place with how they do it, and R.J. Barrett being in front of him.
Yeah,
and just getting a new contract.
Before.
And maybe being traded for Donovan Mitchell.
Well, yeah, that too.
All that. So when does he play then? But go ahead.
Yeah, before we do what we do as Philadelphia fans and say, what should we be interested in a guy like Cam Reddish? Now that this is coming out again, to me, it's a no because of the fact that he's been on 3 teams. This will be his 3rd team in 3 years. Because of the fact if he's looking for a larger role, it's not going to happen here in Philadelphia where the bench is as deep as it's ever been in the Joel Embiid era. And also, I think we got a really good thing going on with this Sixers locker room right now. I don't want anything being thrown in there that could potentially mess things up. Now, I'm not going to say Cam Reddish is going to go in and completely destroy the chemistry, but if he has any type of being a bad locker room guy, quote unquote, and this is just me assuming, and I don't like to assume, but from what I've seen and what I've heard and the fact that he's asking for a trade again, I'm good on a Cam Reddish to Philadelphia. I'm fine with where we are right now.
That's fair. Nick Sirianni, just a short time ago, he's speaking to the media. Tim McManus puts it out here on @Tim_McManus, the timeline on Miles Sanders as far as his hamstring goes. Quote, he's getting better every day. We are hopeful and we'll see what happens, end quote. All right, generic.
Doesn't make me feel great.
Coach speak, but you're right. Doesn't make you feel good about week number 1, at least right now. Let's go back to the phone, 610-632-0975. On the Eagles, Kyle has some thoughts on this Thursday morning. Good morning, Kyle.
Hey, good morning, Devon, Tom. Look, let me just start off by saying I turned on the radio and expected to hear Tunis, and I got you, and I'm very happy.
Oh, thank you.
You're one of my favorite hosts.
Thank you, man. Filling in for my guys. Thank you.
No, I love their show too, but you do a great job.
Thank you.
So, first off, your thought of the day, Cops, Bad Boys,
yeah,
Smith and Martin Lawrence.
100%. That was on my list. As I started jotting them down, Kyle, I just started jotting a few of them down, and absolutely on my list.
That's definitely a good one. As far as the greats on Mount Rushmore, you got to put Messi in there for soccer. And my Eagles thing, I think it's time for us to move on from Miles Sanders. That's just my personal opinion. We've given this guy so much time to show something. He hasn't really shown it to me. And I wanted to know what you think about, is Kareem Hunt still on the market?
We haven't heard anything. It has gone quiet. I believe Adam Schefter, I don't know if it was last week or the week before on the morning show with his weekly visit, where he said that they were not in on Kareem Hunt. And that kind of quieted things down here locally. So
the Eagles aren't going for him.
Yeah, so I don't know. But I know a lot of people did not want to make that move because of the off the field things a few years back.
Yeah, I think he paid his penance for that. I think that's
it's been about 4 or 5 years now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that he can hit the holes. He's a north-south runner. He's fast. He still has some time. I just think he would be a good pick. But, that's all I got. And I just want to say, man, love the show. Good job, guys.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. And, man, the Kareem Hunt thing has been very, very quiet, as it should be now as we're here. If we haven't heard anything, it's probably something that move on. Look, we don't know. I didn't know that the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson thing was going to happen. I didn't know he was available, but that's Howie Roseman's job. And he did find out that he was available and made the move. Maybe Hunt at some point. Maybe week 5. Who knows? But the Miles Sanders thing, look, he's a good back. He's a decent back. I think like most, I'm like, all right, whatever. Running backs, you can find them. Every year, you can find a running back. If your scouting department is that good, you can find a running back. They're everywhere. Everywhere.
Jonathan Taylor was a second-round pick. Dalvin Cook, second-round pick. These guys, Austin Eckler was like a 5th-round pick or a 4th-round
Dobbins,
pick.
Cam Akers, second-round picks, starters.
Yes, where you don't have to draft a guy top 10 or top 15 like you had to do a couple years ago to get a stud running back. No, these guys fall. They're very interchangeable. I think I'm more of a Miles Sanders fan than others out there because I do like what he does on the field when he is on the field. The issue is he's never on the field. So I'm really starting to believe, and I don't think this is breaking news exactly, this is his last year no matter what in Philadelphia.
He wants a new contract.
Yeah, last year of his deal.
He's not available often. The thing that he said where he pointed out what will make for a successful season and what will make a better season, more opportunity. You, even as a Miles Sanders more supporter than many, more opportunity. Dude, you've been in starting running back for the last 2 seasons. And the year before that, you were getting a lot of touches your rookie season. What do you mean more opportunity? When you do certain things that you make these mistakes of going out of bounds when you should stay inbound. The fumbling that we often talk about. And Jamie supported him by saying, I think people get a little carried away with the fumbling. He doesn't fumble as much. But he does, and it can be frustrating when he does it. The fact that, are you going to blame the quarterback all the time when he drops a pass? Is it him or is it quarterback or could it be both? He has not done enough where we're like just blind faith with him, where he could not. Look, he had a really good rookie season. When we got there with that second-round pick where Jalen Hurts was taken, we were mad because J.K. Dobbins was sitting there. Cam Akers was sitting there. And we're like, guess what? I would take a running back here. You're rebuilding. We see it now a lot. A.J. Dillon was picked at the end of the second round. We were just simply looking at it saying, hey, you know what? We see a lot of two-headed monsters in the NFL right now. Go get another one. Go get another one. You're building this team. Go get another one.
Especially with this O-line, too.
Exactly. Go get another one. Jonathan Taylor was picked in that same draft in the second round. Yes, I would draft over him. DeAndre Swift was the second pick in the second round in that same draft. It's okay to have two. That's why you do it, because you never know when one might pop because they're not taken in the first round anymore. 610-632-0975. Tom is in Alabama with us next on 97.5. What's up, Tom?
Yo, D, how you doing? I'm looking all over for you, man.
Oh, man, you know I am. 6 to 10. Monday through Friday, unless I'm moving around on the morning show, the afternoon show, the midday show. Generally 6 to 10.
Tremendous job, brother.
Thank you.
Everybody there does a fabulous job, and I appreciate them letting me come in, man, and giving me a platform for real.
No doubt.
You know, like the previous caller said, maybe parting ways with Miles Sanders might not exactly be the worst idea in the world. I like Miles Sanders. I've covered his back from the get-go, just like I covered Charlie Garner's back. The deal was with Garner, he was misused. And Garner, if he was hurt, he'd be out there. He left it all out there. I mean, he only played 4 years with the Eagles, but Ricky Waters there. How are you going to get the ball? And Sanders has got a burst of speed. It's a shame, but hopefully Howie, you know, he's not going to hang on to him, it looks like, with Whiteside and Reagor. You know, a second-round pick, though. I mean, maybe he could get a third-round pick or a fourth-round pick, something back. But either way, that area needs to be addressed. It's too bad we don't have a 1-2 punch a la Garner and Waters. But, you know, they could survive, you know, the first couple weeks with Boston Scott.
Yeah, they should be able to. They should be able to, and we'll see if they do with Boston Scott and Kenneth Gainwell, with how they use that, again, having the talent at the other skill position, the wide receiver and tight end, to see if they can get some things done there. So I'm not worried just yet, but it's just more concerning that he is not practicing more so than anything.
Yeah, I tell you, him and Saquon Barkley don't only have the fact they went to Penn State together, man, but they both stay hurt. I mean, it's just a
But I
shame.
feel way better with Saquon Barkley than I do with Miles Sanders. I'll tell you that much. What you got on the Phils, Tom? Good win last night.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to take a negative out of it, but there was one thing that got me a little bit. It's 16-1 or 2 in the eighth inning, and Harper's still out there, and Realmuto's running from first to third, and I appreciate the effort, and he can fly. It's the fastest catcher I've ever seen. But those guys don't need to be out there like that, man. I mean, it's bad enough that Falter tweaked his groin. I mean, these guys with their injuries all the way through, they need to toughen up a little bit over there, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Toughen up. Well, they didn't create them on purpose. You know, they just happened, and I'm sure that. And thanks for the call, Tom, that they would like to play through with. But you can't. You got to be smart about it. Staying in too late because of such a big lead. No lead is safe, but I understand when you're talking about the eighth inning or even the ninth inning, maybe wanting to get him out there so you don't have to deal with that. We'll talk about that a little bit on the other side, but we got to let you know as we go to break, the ticket raid. Don't forget, 97.5 The Fanatic at noon, ticket raid, online ticket raid logo, and grab yourself a free pair of tickets, and that will be at 97.5 The Fanatic at 12 o'clock. We'll tell you again when we get back right here on the Midday Show.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Offensive explosion. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by Total Wine and More. With their incredible selection, expert guides, and totally low prices, you'll always love what you find at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, must be 21. Yes, after two straight embarrassing losses to the Diamondbacks, the Phillies offense woke up, winning the series finale by a score of 18-2 last night. The Phillies had 22 hits in the game and went 15 for 29 with runners in scoring position. This comes just one night after having one runner in scoring position the night before. Every single Phillies starter had a multi-hit game. Bailey Falter was lights out once again as he went 6 1/3 innings, allowing just one run and 6 strikeouts. He left the game in the 7th with an apparent groin injury, but it was just precautionary. Next up for the Phils is a day off before heading to San Francisco for a 3-game series with the Giants. The Philadelphia Union, well, they clinched the playoff spot last night with a 4-1 win over the Atlanta United FC. The Union have won 3 straight games in which they've outscored their opponents 16-1. And we are officially 1 week away from the start of the NFL season. Keep it locked to The Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alvord, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Cuz, Anthony Gargano. Weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
The wait is almost over. A new football season is about to begin. So get ready for the NFL Week 1 action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. To celebrate the return of football, DraftKings is giving new customers a can't-miss offer. Bet just $5 on any football game and get $200 in free bets instantly. One action for opening night, everyone can experience the thrill of DraftKings early win promotion. Get up 7, you win. Bet on any NFL team of your choice, and if your team leads by 7 points at any point during the game, you get paid instantly, even if your team loses. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code FANATIC. That's code FANATIC, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Pennsylvania only. Bonus issued as free bets. One early win token issued at opt-in. Money lines bet only. Deposit and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/football terms. In partnership with Meadows Racetrack and Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When you go to a place of business or hire a business to come to your home, that business has a legal duty to protect you from harm and injury. Yet many times people are attacked, raped, robbed, and even murdered because the business they trusted violated that duty. Some businesses are in high crime areas, yet because of cost, security was not provided, and serious injuries or death occurred. Sometimes the lighting in a parking lot or other parts of the business is so dim or not lit at all so as to allow criminals to prey on that customer. Many times we have cases in hotels, apartments, and in-home services where rape, mayhem, and physical assault occur because of the lack of security or negligent hiring of criminals with records. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com or on your cell phone dial #law. That's all. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. forthepeople.com.
Home title theft. It's on the rise, and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert. And that's bad news for home title thieves.
So the problem with a company like Home Title Lock is that they can get me in the middle of the crime, and that's your worst fear.
Are you already a victim? Find out today with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value, free with sign up. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
It's a fact. Only 0.0001% of people will ever step up to the plate as a pro baseball player. For the rest of us, there's BetRivers.com Sportsbook app. Featuring same-game parlays, you can combine the excitement of different bets all from the same game. Totals? Bet 'em. Spreads? Bet 'em. Player props? It's a home run. Download the BetRivers.com Sportsbook app today. It's a whole new game.
Presented by Rivers Casino Pittsburgh. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At CSL Plasma, you can make up to $825 this month when you donate plasma at any of CSL Plasma's tri-state area donation centers. That's money you get on a reloadable, prepaid card for doing a good deed. Plasma donations help create therapies to treat patients with rare and serious diseases, and donations are needed now more than ever. The donation process is a lot like donating blood, with a nice chunk of change in your pocket when you're done. As a thank you for your time, you don't need an appointment to donate. Walk-ins are welcome.
Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because our Sleep Number 360 smart bed is really smart. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to help keep you both comfortable. Plus, it's temperature balancing so you stay cool. It's even smart enough to know exactly how long, how well, and when you slept. Our smart sleepers get 28 minutes more restful sleep per night. Sleep Number takes care of the science. All you have to do is sleep. Don't miss our Labor Day weekend special where all smart beds are on sale. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Labor Day. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Hey, it's Cuz. Don't be that guy with the T-shirt on in the pool. You can still be slimmer for this summer. since it only takes 40 days to lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40-plus pounds with NJ Diet. Their program uses hair, saliva, and bioenergetic scans to personalize natural formulas and supplements to help you lose the weight. That DNA info is used to help you keep it off. No shots, no hormones, no surgery, no prepackaged foods. Ew. Call 855-5NJ-DIET or visit NJDiet.com. That's NJDiet.com.
Not long ago, I wouldn't even leave my house.
Addiction had such a hold on me.
I was a stranger in my own life.
My sister told me about 844-REACH-NJ.
I learned about medication that could support recovery.
And it's working for me.
With medication supporting my recovery, I'm moving forward.
844-REACH-NJ was my first step back into life.
And it feels amazing.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Call 844-REACH-NJ to learn about medication that can support your recovery. A message from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
Hey, it's Jen Scordo. Kick off week 1 with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge, America's #1 sportsbook. Join today. Get $150 in free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. That's it. Sign up using promo code SCORDO to get in on all the action. Turn game day into payday all season long. Week 1, and I am pumped. I like our own Philadelphia team over Detroit, of course, and the over on total wins for the season at 9.5 for Philadelphia. You take that bet and maybe a little upset. I like Jacksonville over Washington. Let's see what happens. Bet on more than just the final score, too. Wager on everything from touchdowns to total yards to catches. You can even combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with the same game parlay. I love those. Don't fumble your chance for $150 in free bets, win or lose. Use promo code SCORDO and make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
All right, it's that time. FanFest online ticket raid. Go to 97.5thefanatic.com right now. Click on the online ticket raid logo and grab yourself a free pair of FanFest tickets. Again, 97.5thefanatic.com. Find that online ticket raid logo and grab yourself a free pair of FanFest tickets. It's all brought to you by
FanDuel Sportsbook.
There you go. All right, Saturday, October 1st from 1 to 5 at Xfinity Live. Must be 21 to enter. And don't forget, we'll be hanging out with Darius Slay, and he will be there courtesy of CSL Plasma, so that will be fun. And you can also find out a way, so stay tuned, to win a meet and greet at FanFest with Big Play Slay. That will be happening on that particular day. The Sixers are going to be there with their basketball court, as always. Always fun. That's the first thing I do. After we come in the gates and all that stuff, come in, say what's up to everybody, and then I go right over to the courts and just start getting my shots off before everybody gets into the area there at Xfinity Live. So we'll do that with the court. The bell will be there that they ring before every game. Franklin, the mascot, our friend, he will also be there. How about the Union, who clinched the playoff berth? They're bringing out their 50-foot inflatable soccer field. So you can go out there and see Dylan McKinnon get some footwork in on the inflatable,
which is a sight to see,
soccer field.
Must see.
I've seen it here. The footwork.
You got to get down there and watch it.
Got to get
out there listening. You have to.
All the Fanatic hosts will be there on site with show meet and greets all day. Our haunted beach. It's not a bikini beach because it's probably going to be like 74 degrees. Well, that was our outlook that Tyler had the other day, 74 degrees. So you got the haunted beach, not the bikini beach. That's created by Elite Landscaping of New Jersey. Lots of food, plenty of drinks all day. More will be added each week leading up to FanFest. You can also take some photos with, how about a Lamborghini, Ferrari, Rolls Royce, your favorite car? Courtesy of Imagine Lifestyles Luxury Rental. So again, go to the ticket raid right now. Find the logo that is on the 97.5thefanatic.com website, online ticket raid. Find the logo. Grab yourself a free pair of tickets to join us at FanFest. As my man Tyrone is here, getting ready for the best show ever, beginning at 2 o'clock here on 97.5 The Fanatic. And we're talking about, before we get back to Jalen Reagor and the Birds and the things that they improved on the most, now that the roster is set. Let's go back to the buddy cop thing there that we had a few tweets about. Let me give you this one. All right. Let me see. We already said Stacy said Starsky and Hutch. That's a great one. That's a classic one. Says best buddy cops from back in the day. Not a movie, but series. But they did make a movie about Starsky and Hutch. Was that
was
Ben Stiller?
Yeah, Ben Stiller and it
Owen
wasn't
Wilson?
Sean.
No.
It wasn't Sean William Scott, right?
Nah.
No, that's Dukes of Hazzard. I'm thinking of.
That's right. They did do Dukes of Hazzard. I want to say Owen Wilson, but I'm not sure if it was Owen Wilson.
Yeah, it was Owen Wilson. You're right.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
2004.
Ramid says, how about National Security with Martin Lawrence?
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
That's a funny one. National Security is a good one. Also, aren't they doing another Beverly Hills Cop movie soon? So Ramid is asking about this. Alfie talked about this too. Alfie from Abington. Mr. Fizz ESQ says they're bringing back Beverly Hills Cop 4. So I went on a rant the other night about this because I'm not happy about it. As I said, Beverly Hills Cop, one of my favorite movies of all time, if not my favorite because of Eddie Murphy. Love 1 and 2. 3 was a disaster. Should have never been made. He should have declined doing it because of the whole premise of the entire thing. And it was just ridiculous. And now they're bringing back a 4th one. It's going to Netflix, straight to Netflix. It's Axel Foley. He has a daughter who's in law enforcement in L.A. He has to go and try to save her. And who else is in it? Joseph Gordon-Levitt is going to be a cop in there too.
Tyrone says 4 is allowed to make up for how bad 3 was.
That's a fair point. But after it happened already, I'm like, I don't want to just leave it alone. Because why are you going to make it better than you made it the last time when you had 3? The only thing that I gave it a little bit of credence with is this. Bad Boys took a long time off between 2 and Bad Boys for Life. And it was really good. But we've also seen some disasters when you take that long. Like, Ty, look, I went on this rant too because now I got to go back in my notes because they're remaking House Party. I'm not happy about that. And that's a LeBron James Maverick Carter thing. Not happy about that.
Ty says you're right. He agrees.
All right, let me go back in my notes here because I had them all written down, the ones that I did not like that they were going to go back to.
Even like dumber comedies, like Dumb and Dumber. The first one was okay. The second one was just awful. Dumb and Dumberer was just awful, and that was like 10 years later.
It's like, come up with some more creativity. And I know it's not easy. But come on. You can't. Oh, Pinocchio. Dylan was going off on that on Twitter. They're doing another Pinocchio. It's like,
I didn't know he was that heated about Pinocchio.
Yeah, he was livid. He was livid on there. Dylan was about Pinocchio. So yeah, man. But anyway, no, I'm not. I will watch it because it's Eddie Murphy, but I'm not thrilled. I'll watch the trailer. I'll see what's going on, and I'll make my judgment. My other piece was this. You took so long to make Coming to America. I didn't want them to do it. I watched it. And normally when I watch an Eddie Murphy movie, if it's on television, I'll watch it again because I'll just stop and watch it. I did not like the Coming to America, the remake. That's why I'm like, please don't do it. Please don't. But they already start filming it. Ty, you are right. They have to make up for 3, maybe 4 will be good.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
He says they already ruined Beverly Hills Cop 3. So they got to make up for it.
Can't be in Wally World, man. You just can't be in Wally World. Just okie dokie and all that kind of stuff and running through. Come on, man.
It's terrible.
It was bad. It was really, really bad. Really bad. All right. Let me give you another one. Here. Let me give you another. Stallone and Sandra Bullock in Demolition Man. Was it Sandra Bullock? He says, Mike and Del Rand says Bullock. Look up Demolition Man real fast and see who was in there with Stallone because I don't remember I know Demolition Man. Don't remember. It was Sandra Bullock?
Yeah, and Wesley Snipes, Sandra Bullock.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Showtime. Old City Philly says, highly underrated movie. Robert De Niro and Eddie Murphy in Showtime. I did not like it. Zach.
I didn't say it.
Did not like it. And I give most Eddie Murphy movies a chance. I did not like it. Just didn't. Bad Boys, of course. Ramid says that one. Mike Lowry and Marcus in that one. Gyllenhaal and Pena in their movie. Underrated cop duo movie is End of Watch with Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena. I don't know that.
That's a good one.
I didn't see that one.
That's worth watching.
I didn't see that.
Very sad towards the end, but that's actually a good watch.
I didn't see that one. And he did say that was tough. D. Rose says Bad Boys is elite. Yes, it is.
What about 21 Jump Street? Did you see the new ones?
Yeah, so Chevy put that one out there with Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill. They were good.
The second one was on yesterday on television. I was just sitting
The first one I thought was better.
Yes, I agree. But they were both...
They were good.
Yeah, worth watching.
They were good. Yeah. There are a lot of them out there. Although Reggie Hammond wasn't a cop, I thought him and Jack Cates together were dynamic in both 48 Hours movies. And I said that to you off air. I said 48 Hours, even though Eddie Murphy is not technically a cop. That's Mark and Concha Hawken on Twitter. He's still, just like we saw, riding along with Kevin Hart and Ice Cube. Technically, not a cop until he became a cop. But, yeah, they were a duo. They were a duo in that one. So, yeah, absolutely. Tango and Cash gets my vote. I was waiting for that one. Tango and Cash, Kurt Russell, and Sylvester Stallone. I was waiting for that one. That's a good one. Wow. Dan Baxter, Cam Reddish coming right at him. Both stinks and is a bad character guy. I don't know that he's a bad character guy. I don't know that. I don't think he stinks either because I think he can score. He has to find the right situation. He has to understand and accept his role and maybe increase it, but I'm not going to say he stinks. I like him as a player.
I was going to say, is that right situation out there for him if he wants too much from himself?
I don't know. He just has to understand that there are roles and you can find them. You may not be the star, but you can still be a starter and get paid and find your role in the league and find your niche. The NBA is about scoring. He can score with the best of them, I think. And Lou said the reason why Cam Reddish will work here is because we have established vets on the squad. He didn't have that in New York and Atlanta. Well, with Derrick Rose, Taj Gibson, they don't have to be stars, Luis. They don't have to be stars, but they have to be vets that are respected. Taj Gibson, Derrick Rose are respected vets in the NBA. And if he embraces that, I think that would go a long way. Lou Williams is a respected vet with the Atlanta Hawks. Goes a long way. So I go back on that a little bit. The respected vets here. Is it Harden and Embiid? But
PJ Tucker.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean that's really. I don't know who else.
They've had
no more Danny Green, obviously.
Correct. That might have been one.
I think definitely.
I don't know that I lean more Harden and Embiid and say that. That's tough to say, just because of the Simmons thing with Embiid. That could have been more Simmons, but it happened. It happened. The Harden part, I mean, when you hear that, oh, you want to keep Tyrese Maxey away from James Harden because he parties too much. You know what I'm saying? So you have to factor in those things.
But then Harden completely embraced Tyrese Maxey, and Tyrese Maxey and Harden are like two peas in a pod, inseparable at this point.
Yeah, but when you see them out in Miami on an off day, you people were like, oh.
Tyrese got a smile from ear to ear.
Get away.
Out at the club that
night.
Right,
exactly. Get him away. And we have a bunch more that we'll put up there as we go along the show with the best cops, the duos here that we talk about. There's a couple of good ones here that we have to check out here as we go along. But we got to keep it going. 610-632-0975. Tyrone Johnson in the best show ever coming up at 2 o'clock. He's right. You got to redeem yourself. Got to redeem yourself from Beverly Hills Cop 3. Terrible movie. Terrible movie. All right. For those who just tuning in, We were talking about a story from Jeff McClain, theinquirer.com, where Jalen Reagor didn't deserve the hate from Eagle fans was the headline. Is that correct, Tom? That was the headline? Jalen Reagor didn't deserve the hate from Eagle fans.
That he got from Eagles fans.
That he got from Eagle fans. And we disagreed, and we didn't think it was hate. It was more heat, and it was rightfully so that it was placed at the feet of Jalen Reagor, and we started the show off at 10 o'clock, got some good conversation going with everybody about it because I came out and said the heat that he got was well-deserved. He did that on the field by not doing anything while you absolutely look at Howie Roseman for drafting him and drafting him in the wrong spot. In the end, he thought he was that good too. It's one thing for a player to understand, like, you can kind of tell they don't really believe that they're good. They're just going out there to be a part of the team and be the best possible player that they can be. There are so many of them that you look at and say, this guy thinks he's better than he is. Jalen Reagor was one of those guys. And yes, he thought he was a first-round pick. Talent-wise, it didn't pan out here. So the heat that he got was deserving for the lack of production that he gave the Philadelphia Eagles during his tenure here. So that was on him. That is on him and nobody else. It's a rebuilding situation, and before you start to blame quarterbacks, you know how many bad quarterback play situations there are in the NFL where wide receivers still produce? Devontae Smith is clearly a better wide receiver than Jalen Reagor. Clearly. But guess what? He had the same quarterback that you had a season ago. He just did. Quez Watkins was not supposed to be better or even on your level. And he still had the same quarterback that you had. And he came out and produced, and they had a better season. So at some point, it is no longer on the general manager who drafted him. It is not on us because we never even put those high expectations on him. We just said go out there and be a productive football player. Show us something. And he never showed anything. And that's on him. So for him to get the, quote, hate, and it wasn't deserving from Eagle fans, the heat that he got from Eagle fans was absolutely deserving because he did not do a thing here with this football team during his first 2 years in the NFL. We'll bring that back into the conversation. 610-632-0975. New audience, just tuning in, you're listening in. How do you feel? Do you believe that Jalen Reagor was treated wrongly here in Philadelphia during his first 2 years in the league? I don't think so. I think he got everything that he deserved. That's on him. That's not on us. That's no longer on Howie Roseman at some point, especially when Howie finally puts his hands up after 2 seasons and says, okay, I give up. He's not good enough. Time to move on, and he sends him to Minnesota. The coaching staff, clearly, at this point, they realize that he can't play. Can't play here. Maybe he goes somewhere else like Minnesota and resurrects his career. But guess what? He needed to change the scenery. The Eagles needed to move on from him. And I thought that Howie Roseman did a good job of righting that wrong and going and getting something with that 7th-round pick and maybe a 4th or a 5th later on based on his statistical play that he has with the Minnesota Vikings. He's going to be a 4th receiver there because guess what? KJ Osborne is a better football player than he is. And he may not see the field a lot. But he needed to get away. He's gone. And now he's back into the shadow of Justin Jefferson as Jefferson is going to be there with him. We didn't do that. Howie Roseman did that, sending him there. So we ask you, do you feel like he was treated wrongly here with the Philadelphia Eagles? Because I don't. I think he got everything that he deserved with this football team.
I know it's been mentioned before. I've seen it on Twitter. I've heard it before. Is there any possibility that Howie Roseman sent J.J. Arcega-Whiteside to Seattle to play next to DK and Jalen Reagor to Minnesota to play next to Justin Jefferson on purpose? That there were other trade options out there.
What's the purpose, though, to
just like
to say to the fans, hey, I understand.
Or it's just to spite them. Like, all right, you're not going to do it here? Have fun. Go do it next to those guys now. Good luck. Good luck seeing them in the locker room every single day. Or were those just the only two trade partners out there? Because to me, that seems a little far-fetched. That those are the only two that just so happen to want the guys that you passed up on, and they go to the other team.
No, I understand, and that would be fun. That would make him look better in a lot of Eagle fans' eyes if he did something like that out of spite.
Yeah.
Spite is good sometimes.
Yes, it is.
To get back. Sometimes you have to do it. I understand that. But, hey, man, that guy, they had to be better. Had to be better here. J.D. Arcega-Whiteside and Jalen Reagor, and they just weren't. They were two busts for where they were drafted, and to see the other people thrive in DK Metcalf and Justin Jefferson, and even in in Reagor's case, as I ran off the wide receivers that were also drafted after him from Van Jefferson. Just productive enough on a Super Bowl team to be a third wide receiver behind Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and then eventually Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham Jr. Van Jefferson, good enough. Michael Pittman, T. Higgins on a Super Bowl participant with the Cincinnati Bengals. You can argue that they might have the best offense in the NFL. Argue with the Bills and the Rams, Chiefs and all. You can have that there in the discussion because of what Burrow, Chase, and Higgins and Mixon are. You can have that discussion. Jalen Reagor was picked in front of a lot of those guys, and that goes into the same thing when you go back to like when Freddie was picked ahead of Chad Johnson, Steve Smith, Chris Chambers with the Miami Dolphins for so many years that people forget about was in that draft. Reggie Wayne, pick after Freddie, right? You go into that conversation and you get into that, because Freddie is brought up about that, and it's funny because Freddie is the best since I've got to know him now. He's like, all right. But still, that's the history of the draft and all of that. But the point is, I'm not taking any of that. He deserves all of that heat. Everything that was given to him, he eventually earned that as a pick, as a player that did nothing in the city. And then when you talk too much, you put more of a target on yourself. So it's right that he got what he received as an Eagle. All right, 610-632-0975. We take your phone calls on that and also continue to ask you where have the Eagles improved the most now that the roster is set before Game 1, Week 1 against the Lions. And the Phils, good win last night. They put up 18 on the Diamondbacks. Before we get to the San Francisco Giants tomorrow, we talk about the series that they just had, looking ahead a bit, and do you feel a little better after getting that win last night? The Union get a playoff berth after their victory over Atlanta, 610-632-0975. We come back, we tell you about another ticket possibility, and we give you a Twitter poll update right here on the Midday Show, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies wake up. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by LP SmartSide Trim and Siding. Visit lpcorp.com/pro. LP SmartSide engineered wood trim and siding is lightweight, allowing you to carry up to 5 boards at one time. Side with LP SmartSide Trim and Siding. Visit lpcorp.com/pro to learn more. Yes, after being outscored 25-10 in the first 2 games of the series, the Phillies responded in a major way. They finished with 22 hits and went 15 for 29 with runners in scoring position in their 18-2 drubbing of the Diamondbacks in the series finale. Every single Phillies starter had at least 2 hits and at least 1 RBI. 18 runs is the most the Phillies have scored this season, and they did it all without hitting a single homer in the game. The Phillies now sit at 73-58 on the year and are a half game up on the Padres for the second wildcard spot in the NL. Phillies get the day off today before they head to San Francisco for a 3-game series versus the Giants. We are officially 1 week away from the start of the NFL season. The Eagles' 53-man roster is set, and the team captains have been announced. The captains for the season are Jason Kelce, Jalen Hurts, Lane Johnson, Brandon Graham, Darius Slay, Fletcher Cox, and Jake Elliott. And the Philadelphia Union clinched a playoff spot last night with a 4-1 win over Atlanta United FC. Keep it locked to the Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alborn. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Anthony Gargano Show on 97.5 The Fanatic.
This is Brad Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.5 The Fanatic. Brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use the promo code FANATIC when using the DraftKings app.
Penn State 3-1 all-time against Purdue, and they've won 9 straight over the Boilermakers. Nittany Lions a 3.5-point favorite at Purdue today. Total 53 at Ross-Age Stadium in West Lafayette. Sean Clifford's over-under passing prop bet, 248.5. 1.5 touchdowns juiced to the over. Southern Cal transfer Keaton Slovis will get the start for the 17th-ranked Pitt Panthers. They're 7.5-point home favorites against West Virginia today. 51.5 the total at Acrisure Stadium in the backyard brawl. Tomorrow, Temple a 7-point dog at Duke. 53 the total at Wallace Wade Stadium. Red Hot winning picks available. Experts.winnersandwhiners.com. Save 75% with the promo code ACTION75. Mike Sennett, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Hey everybody, Bob Cooney here. Kick off week 1 with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge, America's #1 sports book. Join today to get $150 in free bets, guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Sign up with promo code Bob to get in on the action. Turn game day into payday all season long. There's so many fun things you can do. Keep it local. Maybe you're looking at Jalen Hurts. Over-under for passing yards. Over-under for rushing yards. Or maybe you want to get a running back. See if they're going to score a touchdown or 2. Anything you want to do with that $150 is so much fun. Bet on more than just the final score. Wager on everything from touchdowns to total yards to catches. You can even combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with same-game parlay. So don't fumble your chance for $150 in free bets, win or lose. Use promo code Bob. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For 30 years, we've been in the business of bringing dignity back to those who've lost it. And it isn't something we take for granted. Dignity means bringing a paycheck home, being able to put food on the table, and provide for your family. For 30 years, I've fought to bring dignity back to those who lost it after an accident or an injury. And because we believe in dignity, it is also the heart of our charitable contributions and our fight for the powerless. It's why we donated $10 million to pass the legalization of medical marijuana in Florida, so that the most ill can live and die with dignity. Let my family fight for your family and your dignity. Call us for a free consultation. Dial pound law on your cell phone. That's pound 529. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
In order for small businesses to thrive, they need to be smart, efficient, agile, staying ahead of the market at every turn, and finding ways to do more with less. That's never been more important than it is right now. So for a limited time, Comcast Business is introducing Small Business Savings, a deal for companies across the country. When you call in now, you can get powerful internet for just $39 a month for 12 months. $39 a month, with no annual contract and a money-back guarantee. All on the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses, with the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. So if you're a small business owner, don't wait. Call and get started today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Offer ends 9/21/22. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 50 megabits per second internet customers only. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Call or go online for details. After promo, regular rates apply.
Businesses of all types and sizes are saving money with Pico because Pico's got the financial incentives and technical expertise to help you reduce your energy use and to save cash. See how Pico's helping businesses like yours take greater control of their energy costs to improve their bottom line. Simply complete a customer survey on Pico's digital portal and an energy profile. The report will be generated for you, and this profile is going to provide specific recommendation based on your facilities, equipment, and energy use, with great ways to save while either maintaining or increasing productivity.
When others treat your fries as an afterthought, all you're left with are cold, soggy fries. That's why Wendy's fries are ones you won't forget, guaranteed to be hot and crispy, or we'll replace them. We're talking natural cut, skin-on fries, perfectly seasoned with a hint of sea salt. In fact, they're even preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's. These are fries so hot and crispy, they beg a new question.
What would you like with your fries?
Try them today, only at Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, taste preference based on a national taste test by an independent research company.
Okay, everyone gather around. I have some exciting.
Running her shoe factory, Kendra talks
talks the talk and walks the walk.
We're switching to green energy.
She needs a biotech consultant to erase her carbon footprint.
All operations will net zero emissions.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
It's a fact. Only 0.0001% of people will ever step up to the plate as a pro baseball player. For the rest of us, there's BetRivers.com Sportsbook app. Featuring same-game parlays, you can combine the excitement of different bets all from the same game. Totals? Bet 'em. Spreads? Bet 'em. Player props? It's a home run. Download the BetRivers.com Sportsbook app today. It's a whole new game.
Presented by Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
More of the Anthony Gargano Show now
on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Uh-oh. We got breaking news here. Somebody did show up to practice today. Tim McManus with a video. Tim_McManus, Miles Sanders practicing for the first time in 2+ weeks out there on the practice field at NovaCare. It's about time. Man, I mean, look, I know a hamstring is not anything to mess around with, and I've been dealing with a hamstring, and I'm not a pro, and I've been dealing with a hamstring a little bit over the summer after playing ball, and you got to deal with it, right? My goodness. Took him long enough to get back out there. So back after 2+ weeks, Miles Sanders is out there on the field. My goodness gracious.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that.
You know what got him out there on the field? Jalen Reagor getting traded. That's what got him out there on the field.
He saw the consequences if you keep messing around.
Keep messing around, keep talking on Twitter. You out.
What I'm hoping for is that this was planned all along. Maybe they would have liked him back a little bit sooner, but they just wanted to be as precautionary as possible. Get him a full week of practice next week, basically, with the first week of the season coming up, obviously. So I'm hoping that's the case, and I'm hoping that this was all planned, and he should be good to go for the start of the season.
Yeah, well, look, man, he's back out there. He has a lot to prove this season, making people feel a little more comfortable with him out there in the backfield. He has to do his job, and we know that he's talented, but it hasn't been enough where we haven't looked to maybe improve the running back room and taking over for him. So 610-632-0975. Good to see him back. Let's see if he can stay out there, stay healthy, and give a productive season for the Birds. The 12 o'clock hour is brought to you by Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. Get 0% financing for 72 months and a $500 rebate when you purchase a complete heating and cooling system from Service First. Learn more at servicefirst.hvac.com. Now, Tom, we got a Twitter poll put up in the 10 o'clock hour. We haven't addressed it, so 2 hours later or so, you mind giving us a Twitter poll update here?
Sure. So on the official 97.5 The Fanatic Twitter account, did Jalen Reagor deserve the heat he got here in Philadelphia? You have two choices in the lead right now. Yes, he wasn't good enough at 76%. No, it was a bit too much, at 24%, so a little bit higher than I thought.
At 20%?
No, 24%. 24%. Say no, we hated on him a bit too much.
No, you didn't.
Too much heat.
No, you didn't. Got exactly what he deserved. You weren't good enough, and you talked too much. And then your dad blocked people on Twitter. So all of that just culminating together, you got exactly what you deserved. So stop it, please. Stop it. He deserved every bit of that, and that's why he's no longer here. He wasn't good enough, and that's why you got to go. Got to go. So 610-632-0975. And we also asked, where have they improved the most now that the roster is set? Tom went with the wide receiver grouping, not just because Reagor is gone, but with the addition of A.J. Brown and Zach Pascal. I went with the corner, with the secondary overall. Because of Bradbury taking over for Nelson, even though Nelson was decent last year, I think you got a better player in Bradbury. And then even though we don't have all the answers for the safeties with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and Marcus Epps, they're young. They seem to believe in them. And that right there might make them better than what we saw a year ago with Anthony Harris and both Roddy McLeod, who came back late, who was one of my favorites for a long time. But it was what it was. And now you have this secondary group that I think is pretty good, and I think that's why I believe right now for this team that they are, in fact, a pretty solid secondary group. So your thoughts on where you feel like they may have improved a little bit more as we get ready for the season. There was someone else that said linebackers here on Twitter. Let me go and find it since we have so many of the buddy cop things. Furkan Korkmaz's burner account says linebacker without a doubt.
It's a good name.
That is.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, going into last season, it was T.J. Edwards who emerged more as the season went along. And to my knowledge, forgive me if I'm wrong, it was Eric Wilson, who they signed, who was
eventually cut.
And was it Singleton as well?
Yes.
So you go from Alex Singleton, Eric Wilson, and T.J. Edwards.
Not good.
No. To T.J. Edwards, Kaiser White, who I think a lot of us are very excited about with what he did with the Chargers. And then a absolute dark horse in Nakobe Dean, who might not make an instant impact right away, but as the season goes along, if he's as talented as we think he is out there, and as he was last season with the best defense maybe in college football in the last decade.
And don't forget about Hassan Reddick.
And Hassan Reddick.
Who's technically a linebacker, but he will be coming off the edge to help out a lot. That's an improvement.
It's crazy. Hassan Reddick, that signing, and the James Bradbury signing feel like ages ago. Feel like years ago at this point, just because so much movement has happened with the Philadelphia Eagles, even the Kaiser White one to an extent. It's easy for these other ones for you to forget about them because that's how great of a job Howie Roseman has done this offseason on paper.
Yep, absolutely. And then you go looking at the fact that you can, once again, if you want to bring safeties in the box, you want to mix things up with your personnel where you don't have to have the linebackers there all the time. You can maybe bring in a safety, whether it's Kayvon Wallace, Blankenship, I don't know, whoever. Maybe it's Gardner Johnson moving up in the box a little bit because he is a physical player that you can go in that direction too. So where have they improved the most out there with this team as we have this 53-man in place as of right now? 610-632-0975. Jason on Twitter says, Devon, Tom, does it play out drastically different if we draft JJ instead? I think we still draft Devontae at that spot. JJ, Justin Jefferson, might catch some of the dropped game-winning TDs, but still similar draft position. But we wouldn't have traded for AJ, and who knows what happens. Well, look, first of all, already it seems like Justin Jefferson is a better player than A.J. Brown at that position. So I think you win right there, Jason. And you're probably still taking another wide receiver at some point. It may not be Devontae Smith, but it doesn't mean you don't take someone who is still talented. And that's the 2021 draft. I'll look at and see who else was there. Go ahead.
I don't think they take a receiver in the first round if Justin Jefferson is taken the year before instead of Reddick.
That's what I'm saying. It's okay,
I don't
though.
believe so. Yeah, maybe in the second or third, but maybe you pick Micah Parsons with that pick in the first round that the Cowboys picked that in that first round as well. Maybe that happens and you have Justin Jefferson and Micah Parsons. Listen, what ifs is the most difficult game to get down, the most difficult road and path to go down, because then you go down this crazy loophole and you never know what happens. Maybe we're in a worse situation than we are right now. Who knows? But it's something to look back on and think about, like, wow, what could have been different if that actually happened, and how he made the choice that was the obvious choice to pretty much everyone, not only in Philadelphia, but in the world.
Yeah, so Devontae Smith was picked at number 10. But as you said, maybe you pick Micah Parsons. And later on in that draft, if the Birds are going to do anything, they took Landon Dickerson in the second round. Maybe they decide to go Elijah Moore instead of Landon Dickerson, right? And I like Elijah Moore. I mean, we'll find out with the Jets, but I do like him. Who else? Terrence Marshall Jr. in the second round with Carolina. Said to be on a trade block, but who knows? You know, who knows where they go? And it doesn't have to be. It doesn't mean that you can't, with Justin Jefferson later on, trade or sign one of these other receivers. Who knows what would have happened What would have happened? I don't know. But I tell you what, if I had to choose, I'd take Justin Jefferson over any receiver that they have on the roster right now.
And that's not a knock on the receivers. That's just how good Justin Jefferson is.
That's just how good he is.
He might be the best receiver on earth right now.
And you pick it up somewhere else. As you said, you pick up Parsons. You pick up another position player elsewhere that you feel good about, and you maybe sign or trade for another wide receiver that became disgruntled, like A.J. Brown. Or you sign someone else during free agency, and you feel okay about that particular player. So I would have been fine with what they would have done. We don't know what that result would have been, but I would have been okay with it. That Bull B, Brian says, I always felt bad for Rager because he shouldn't have been drafted that high, especially when Jefferson was on the board. However, you can't talk smack on social media and then be trash. That is very true. I didn't feel bad for him. It was just like, put your head down and go play football. You're drafted. You were set to be a first or second round pick. You got picked a little higher than you should have been. The team showed faith in you, or at least the general manager did, in your selection. Now go out there and play. Everybody has a clean slate when you're taken, whether anybody likes it or not. You know what shuts all that up? Production. When you start popping off, it doesn't help. And that's why I never felt bad for him. It was just, go out there, let's see. Prove everybody wrong that Justin Jefferson wasn't the pick. And it was you. You never did it. So shut up and go play football. And that's why you deserve the heat that you got. And finally, well, we actually have a few, but I'll say this one next and then we'll move on. Captain J. Ram on Twitter. No, Rager did not get too much heat. He blocked people on social media. Last Wednesday at practice, he was 20 yards away, was too good to talk to fans. After preseason game, ran into in the tunnel with towel on his head, where all the other players were at least waving. Rager is a bum. Good riddance. Well, the at practice stuff, I wasn't there. I don't know what he did, but Captain was there. Felt like, Jalen Rager was a little rude and didn't want to at least give them some time. All of that. All right. That part I can't say because I didn't see it, but for Captain J. Ram, fair enough. Fair enough. That's where you decided to go. I'm okay with that. But for me, not so much, just simply because, I didn't see all of that. But that's where you go. That's where he goes, and that's how he felt. So I can't be mad at him. The guy was just, blaming everybody else at that point. So stop blaming everybody else and do your job. Do your job. All right, with the Phillies getting the win last night, getting ready for the San Francisco Giants. Tom, your thoughts on getting the win last night? You've talked about it a bunch in your update, but we haven't really gotten your thoughts on the Phillies in general and getting that win last night. We got to monitor this Bailey Falter situation and see, because he's had some really good starts over his last 4 or 5. And with the groin issue that he had last night that had him leave the game a little bit earlier than expected. I think he left in the 7th inning. And he was still pitching well, looked good, had good command on what he was doing, a good amount of strikeouts. He wasn't very high in his pitching. I remember looking at the screen, and at one point he was at like 80 or 81 with his pitch count. But he's been pretty good so far as that extra guy, that 6th starter, and now that 5th starter with Zach Wheeler down. They found their bats last night, finally. Found their bats last night. Does it calm people down a little bit, even though you lost the series and they gave up as many as they did, and then you had the unanswered after having that 7 spot where you had that 7-0 lead, and they come up, and what did you say, 20-plus runs was what they scored unanswered? Was it 20?
22 straight runs.
22 straight runs.
Unanswered.
The Diamondbacks, and that shouldn't have happened.
No.
That was ridiculous.
That shouldn't happen over an entire season.
You can't do that.
2 games.
You can't do that. That being said, they get the win last night. They needed to stop the bleeding. They did. All right, let's move on to San Francisco. What did you make of last night?
Yeah, so first of all, with Bailey Falter, been really, really good. Last night he exited with 83 pitches, just double-checked in the 7th inning. Jim Salisbury wrote an article earlier. He said that it was precautionary. Falter said afterwards he will be able to make his next start. So that's good news when you're up, whatever it was, 10 runs at that point. I'm fine with him coming out. He's been really good in his last 4 starts. 4 straight quality starts for Bailey Falter. 24 and a third innings pitched, 7 earned runs and 23 Ks. That's a 2.61 ERA for Bailey Falter against the D-backs, Pirates twice, and the Mets. So it's nice to see that, especially with Wheeler down. Nola struggled last time, and Suarez has been struggling a little bit. So it's nice to get a little bit of extra effort there from Bailey Falter, your 6th starter, if you will. And when it comes to the game last night, I was talking to Andrew yesterday after their 2nd straight loss, and I said, I still believe in this team. I still believe this team is going to make the playoffs. I've been saying that for months now. It just, the cracks started happening. I had a single crack. I had chills go down my spine seeing the way that they lost those first 2 games in Arizona. It was extremely reminiscent of the games that we've seen, the collapses we've seen from Phillies teams down the stretch in past years. It just felt all too similar. What did they do? They went out there and responded, and they did something that no former Philly team would do after losing 2 games like that. They just went absolutely absurd. They went nuclear in that game, 18 runs. And I think that was a little bit of a prove-it game, not only to the fans, but to themselves. Like, okay, let's get back on track here. Enough screwing around. It's not an excuse to lose that series. I like how it ended. And it's crazy, by the way, that they were outscored 25-10 going into that game in the series, and they end up outscoring the Diamondbacks in the series, which is just absolutely unbelievable. So I think it should be making Phillies fans breathe a sigh of relief, because we wouldn't see that type of win from the Phillies teams the last couple years after 2 disastrous, embarrassing losses the first 2 games of the series. I also said with Andrew yesterday, a lot of this changes if you win the game, the 3rd game of the series, which they did against the Diamondbacks, and you go and can win 2 or 3 or more against the San Francisco Giants. I think the talk kind of calms down on the collapse that was coming, quote unquote. So, listen, not an excuse. You had to get the series done. Or you had to win that series. You didn't, but you responded in the last game. Go out there and don't screw around and win the series over the San Francisco Giants, who, as you mentioned, have lost 7 straight games.
7 straight. Kyle Gibson on the mound, Syndergaard on Saturday, and Suarez on Sunday. He's had back-to-back games where he hasn't been good, so he needs to get it together. Kyle Gibson, too, he needs to be a little bit better. And Noah Syndergaard finally has a loss in the column as a Philly during the starts. The Phillies finally lost their first game with him out there on the mound. So an opportunity against San Francisco where they have lost 7 in a row. They're going in the wrong direction to see if they can get this thing back on track with winning a series before they return home for 6, 3 against Miami and 3 against Washington. So you have an opportunity there with these next 12 games from San Fran, Washington, and 6 with Miami, who they've had trouble with, we know, but 6 with Miami overall. You have an opportunity there where you need to win those series. Take 2 of 3 in each one of those. And again, you're just simply doing your job. That's all. 1 loss each series, and that's 4 losses there. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. 8-4 in a 12-game stretch. I'm all right with that. Do your job.
Yeah. And for the most part, in the Rob Thompson era, they've been able to capitalize and beat the lesser opponents. We had that Cubs collapse right after the All-Star break. I still think they were on the All-Star break. I think they were sleeping that sweep that happened the first series outside of the All-Star break against the Chicago Cubs. We had the Diamondbacks, who they dropped 1-2. Other than that, when it comes to the teams they've supposed to beat, they've beaten them. Go out there and continue to do that, and you will be a playoff team. You will be a hot team heading into the playoffs, and that's all that you can ask for.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta keep it up, though.
Andrew on Twitter, Hungry Belly BWOY. Why does your conversation about players you don't like so negative? That's how. So I'm guessing you're saying seems so negative. Well, I don't dislike the person. I don't like the player. And then when I don't like, Andrew, how they conduct themselves as professionals and like to point fingers at everybody else, when you're talking about somebody that you don't like, it typically comes off as negative. I'm talking about the player only. The person I don't know, but I don't like how he has handled himself as a professional when it comes to his job and how he attacks the fan base instead of taking accountability of what he has not done. So if it comes off negative, it is negative. I'm talking about a player that hasn't done anything. It is a negative connotation there because I don't like the player. So when you do that, it becomes a negative thing, and that's why it is negative. So I'm not taking it back. He was not good. I don't like the player. When it comes to Miles Sanders, I like the player a little bit. Yet he gets on my nerves because he does the same thing where he tries to deflect and have it pointed back at everybody else instead of taking accountability for what he is not doing. So that's why it's coming off as negative, because I'm talking about something that's negative and not a positive. I'm not talking about the positive things that they're doing. I'm talking about the negative stuff that's not being done, and that's having production on the field, doing your job. So that's why I'm guessing it comes off that way to you. If you talk about somebody that you don't like with their profession, wouldn't yours be coming off the same way? I'm not attacking the person. I'm attacking the football player. But when I do bring up the social media part, I do question them as individuals of how they handle themselves and their lack of maturity in a profession that you are going to be attacked a lot. That's what's happening. That's part of your job. I don't come on here all the time and dig into people. I like to come on here and praise the stuff that they do. We just also talked about Serena Williams, Shohei Ohtani, mentioning how we like some of the players with the secondary, the linebackers. That's speaking positive about them. I chose to come out and talk about something that was written about Jalen Reagor not deserving the hate from Eagle fans. And I changed that, Andrew, from hate to heat. So I would think I was looking out for him a little bit when it comes to, again, people not attacking him on a personal level, but attacking him more for the lack of production that he gave you as a professional football player for the Philadelphia Eagles, and then how he conducted himself as such when things didn't necessarily go his way. So that's my answer. I hope, Andrew, I answered your question. And whenever it comes up about Jalen Reagor after this, who I don't think is a good football player, it's going to be looked at as negative when you're talking about a player that you don't think is good. 610-632-0975. Again, hope I answered your question. He's not a good football player, so anything I say about him is going to come off as negative. When we come back, we'll keep the Birds talk going, the Phils as well. And then we'll give you some more of the people that said some things about the Buddy Cops on Twitter. Run that for you. And also the things that have gotten lost a little bit is the Mount Rushmore with Serena Williams getting the win last night and what could be, it looks to be her final major. And the Mount Rushmore, where she belongs on it. Does she belong on it with some of the other greats? 610-632-0975. Devon Givens in for Anthony Gargano. It's the Midday Show. Tom Alvord in for Andrew Salchunas. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Offensive explosion. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by LP SmartSide Trim and Siding. Visit lpcorp.com/pro. LP SmartSide engineered wood trim and siding is lightweight, allowing you to carry up to 5 boards at one time. Side with LP SmartSide Trim and Siding. Visit lpcorp.com/pro to learn more. Yes, after 2 straight embarrassing losses to the Diamondbacks, the Phillies offense woke up, winning the series finale by a score of 18-2 last night. Phillies had 22 hits in the game and went 15 for 29 with runners in scoring position. Every single Phillies starter had a multi-hit game. Bailey Falter was lights out once again as he went 6 1/3 innings, allowing just 1 run and 6 strikeouts. He did leave the game in the 7th with an apparent groin injury, but it was just precautionary. Next up for the Phillies is a day off before heading to San Francisco for a 3-game series with the Giants. We are officially 1 week away from the start of the NFL season. The Eagles' 53-man roster has been set and the team captains have been announced. The captains are Jason Kelce, Jalen Hurts, Lane Johnson, Brandon Graham, Darius Slay, Fletcher Cox, and Jake Elliott. Miles Sanders is also back at practice today after 2.5 weeks off. This update has been brought to you also by the Philadelphia Union because they clinched a playoff spot last night with a 4-1 win over Atlanta United FC. Keep it locked to the Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alvord, and you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
Anthony Gargano, weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
The wait is almost over. A new football season is about to begin. So get ready for the NFL Week 1 action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. To celebrate the return of football, DraftKings is giving new customers a can't-miss offer. Bet just $5 on any football game and get $200 in free bets instantly. One action for opening night, everyone can experience the thrill of DraftKings early win promotion. Get up 7, you win. Bet on any NFL team of your choice, and if your team leads by 7 points at any point during the game, you get paid instantly, even if your team loses. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code FANATIC. That's code FANATIC, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Pennsylvania only. Bonus issued as free bets. One early win token issued at opt-in. Money lines bet only. Deposit and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/football terms. In partnership with Meadows Racetrack and Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, it's Cuz. Is your summer weight loss plan not working out as well as you hope? Look, hope is not a strategy. This is what you got to do. Contact njdiet.com today. They will contractually guarantee you will lose 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. Just go to njdiet.com. Their program starts with bioenergetically personalized supplements that are based on your saliva, your hair, and your blood work. And then NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet plan and workout regimen to help you keep the weight off. If you're not sure you can do it alone, NJ Diet's with you every step of the way. You're fully monitored by their certified staff to make sure you're burning fat, not just losing water. You'll also get the doctor's personal email and phone number. NJ Diet is committed to you keeping the weight off. It's all natural, no shots, no hormones, no surgery, no prepackaged foods. Locations close by: Newark, Delaware, King of Prussia, Cherry Hill. Worldwide live online video consultations. Call them. 855-5NJ-DIET or go to njdiet.com. That's njdiet.com and lose the weight for good.
In order for small businesses to thrive, they need to be smart, efficient, agile, staying ahead of the market at every turn, and finding ways to do more with less. That's never been more important than it is right now. So for a limited time, Comcast Business is introducing Small Business Savings, a deal for companies across the country. When you call in now, you can get powerful internet for just $39 a month for 12 months. $39 a month with no annual contract and a money-back guarantee. All on the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses with the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. So if you're a small business owner, don't wait. Call and get started today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Offer ends 9/21/22. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 50 megabits per second internet customers only. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Call or go online for details. After promo, regular rates apply.
Hey, it's Jen Scordo. FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge, wants you to get ready for college football. This week, new customers get $150 in free bets for week 1. All you have to do is place a $5 bet and get $150 in free bets, win or lose. Bet college football any way you like. And that means Ohio State, Georgia, or Clemson. You can throw in Alabama if you must. I hate them, so I'm not doing it. But they're a good bet, of course. One of those teams is going to be in the national championship this year. You can bet on that. And you can bet some futures, too. The Heisman playoffs, the options are endless. If you're new to FanDuel, the app is super easy to use. They're always hooking you up with great odds and great boosts, too. And they pay really fast. See why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Download the FanDuel app today. Sign up using my promo code SCORDO. That's SCORDO. Place a $5 bet and get $150 in free bets. College football is back, baby. Make sure you use that promo code SCORDO.
21 plus and present in PA. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Labor Day event from Dell Technologies is here. End the summer strong by starting up a new season of productivity. Your business upgrade begins with up to 48% off top-rated laptops, like Vostro, taking performance to the next level with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. It's time to push your growing business even further. What's next for you? Upgrade today by calling 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
You know the signs of a natural gas leak. Ooh, it smells like rotten eggs. But what's your next move in that situation?
Scoot, run, bolt, flee. Gas leaks are no good for me. If you smell gas, it's time to go. Leave the scene and call PECO. 1-800-841-4141.
Give us a call and we'll send someone to check it out. Pico is here to help 24/7.
At CSL Plasma, you can make up to $825 this month when you donate plasma at any of CSL Plasma's tri-state area donation centers. That's money you get on a reloadable, prepaid card for doing a good deed. Plasma donations help create therapies to treat patients with rare and serious diseases, and donations are needed now more than ever. The donation process is a lot like donating blood, with a nice chunk of change in your pocket when you're done. As a thank you for your time, you don't need an appointment to donate. Walk-ins are welcome.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station, home of the most entertaining sports talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
1 o'clock, 97.5 The Fanatic. Hanging out with you, 610-632-0975. Devon Givens in for Anthony Gargano. Andrew Saltunas, Tom Alvord in for Drew. I'll be back tomorrow. Also, Tyler Zulli will be in as Tom has the day off. I'll be in tomorrow, 10 a.m., filling in one more day for the guys. And you know I had a quick turnaround when I said earlier, and Tom had to correct me, that no, it's not 10 p.m. 10 to 10.
You can hang till 10 p.m. I'm going to head out at 2, though, if that's cool.
I probably could.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the longest
12 hours straight of radio
day I've been here. Because, you know, especially during the Sixers season, where they'll have those 1 o'clock endings and we'll have to go until 1 a.m. Yeah, I'm sure I've done one of those.
I'm
pretty
good.
sure.
I'm all right.
You don't want to do that?
Nah, I'm good today.
All right.
Not today.
Okay, cool. All right, no problem. And for those who didn't hear, Russell Wilson with a new extension where he got paid. So we'll just say that. Yeah. Yeah. My man Coach Bird on Twitter says, Devon, don't worry about it. He sucks. You
Russell
don't want
Wilson?
No. Jalen Reagor.
Oh, I was going to say.
You don't want the hate, be better. Bottom line.
Sounds
Just
simple
go out there
enough.
and be better. And again, we termed it, Coach, as heat instead of hate. We just said it was heat. Took a lot of heat. And now he's gone, and we won't have to talk about him after this week, except for when he comes to visit for week number 2 to start off the home schedule for the Birds. But after that, not much. Yeah, we'll pay attention to what he's doing or not doing with the Minnesota Vikings, but he won't consume us much more after this. No. Did you see Steph Curry, Davidson, and everything that they did for him yesterday?
No, I don't think I did, actually.
All right, so Steph Curry graduated and fulfilled a promise to his mother that he would graduate from Davidson and still get his degree. You know, he's going on as the number 7 pick in that draft. Bad job by Minnesota taking Johnny Flynn and Ricky Rubio in the draft. But nonetheless, he's an all-time great, Hall of Famer, top 75 player. I mentioned this last night briefly with Tyler, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this, which was yesterday, since he graduated in May, he couldn't attend the ceremony in the spring because they were in the playoffs. So yesterday, and it was already announced that they were also going to be retiring his number 30 jersey at Davidson, where he's probably the most popular alumni there. They had a graduation ceremony for one and a jersey retirement all in the same day. So they still had the big crowd as if they were graduates, but it was just students and the family. He had a cap and gown. So did the administration, the people who are on the stage. They gave him a whole graduation for one. Yesterday, Steph Curry.
That's awesome. I can't believe I missed that, actually.
Was it too much, though, for one person?
Hey, man.
Hey, what?
You said probably the most famous alumni. There's no doubt.
He is. All right, he is.
And Steph Curry is one of the most likable athletes.
Did he need all of that?
No, he didn't need it.
But you have no problem with it?
Yeah, go all out for it. Why not?
I'm not
They
saying.
might not have another jersey retirement day like that when it comes to Davidson basketball. I
And
don't
look,
know how great
normally
they are.
when they give these jersey retirements at the colleges, they have to do it at All-Star break. They have to schedule that stuff during All-Star break. But All-Star break, he'll be in the All-Star game. He'll be there for All-Star weekend, so he can't make it. All right, I got it. It was just, all right, a whole graduation for one person.
It's a little too above and beyond for you.
I get it. I get it. I'm just asking. Seemed like a lot, but I get it because he is Steph Curry.
I understand doing it for not all the time. And if you do that all the time, that's stupid. That's pointless. It's a waste of resources. But every now and then, for someone that important to the university, I think it's fine.
All right. I do. I was just curious. There's a couple basketball things that I had. It was like, all right, let me ask you about this one. The other was Bob Ryan, the longtime NBA columnist, went on a podcast and called Kevin Durant basically a piece of bleep, and I wouldn't want him on my team. I don't want to win with him. He's a piece of bleep, and I'm glad that we didn't go out there and get him. Let me make sure I had it correctly because what he said I thought was, number one, foolish and shows lack of class.
I don't want to win with that bleep head.
Yes.
And I think he is one. I don't want to win with this guy. Screw him.
First of all, you don't play for the Boston Celtics. You don't. You don't play for the Celtics. You cover the Celtics. Yes, you are a legendary writer. I understand that. Hall of Famer. You don't write for the you are not a member of the Celtics. So what do you mean you don't want to win with Kevin Durant? You don't play for the Celtics. You don't write for the Celtics.com. You're not a Celtics player or an organization member. You're not a part of the staff. And secondly, why has he got to be a bleep head? What did he do to you? I don't remember anything. Look, there may be some one-on-one things where he didn't like Kevin Durant and all that, but just because he left Golden State to go to Brooklyn or he left Oklahoma City to go to Golden State, he battles with people on Twitter, speaks his mind. You don't have to like the guy, but because a trade didn't go down and you go on a podcast with Tangway and Goodman, who I don't like those guys, you got to call him that? You got to call him a bleep head? So when our tweeter asked me, why is there so much negativity in what I'm saying about Jalen Reagor, listen to what Bob Ryan said, our friend on Twitter. Listen to that and tell me if my negativity is anywhere close to that. What was the purpose? What's the point?
Yeah, listen, you don't have to like Kevin Durant. You don't have to like how he's handled every situation. There's certain situations that he's done that I don't love the way he handled it, but I'm not out here calling him a bleep head. That's where it draws the line. You don't need to be calling people names, lashing out on people like that. There's no purpose for that. You can word that differently. Hey, I'd rather win with the core we have set up here. I don't like how he jumps from team to team. I'm fine here. We can do it with our core here. Once you start throwing the names around as a professional journalist, as Bob Ryan is supposedly, that's where it's kind of over the line. It's like, all right, man, what are we doing here?
Yeah, you can't do that, man.
No.
You can't do that. Unnecessary. And, yeah, a lot of it last night got into, not a lot of it, a couple of, and I thought it was warranted. It was, just talking about Boston and, the stuff to where it comes into where you can have some racial things there from Boston and all that. Look, Bob Ryan, I don't know him well. I just know him from reading him and listening to him talk. And I always respected his stuff. And, we have people reaching out saying, and yeah, you can't ignore it. I don't think so, but I also don't know it. But I don't like, Tangway and Goodman either, those Boston guys. So I didn't like how he came off and saying something like that. I thought it was unnecessary.
And are you
totally
really
unnecessary?
Do you really feel that way, or are you just salty because he chose not to come to your team
a couple of years back?
Or even he chose not to request a trade and go through with it this offseason, and you guys were probably the favorites, having to give up or having a guy like Jaylen Brown to be able to put in a package for a Kevin Durant trade where I don't think anyone else around the league could beat that. Are you just salty at Kevin Durant that he changed his mind again and he's not coming to your team now? Is that what it is?
Just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's unnecessary.
Come on, man. Show some class. All right, we gave out, we told everybody about it, FanFest ticket raid online in the 12 o'clock hour. Now we got to tell you about after FanFest ticket raid. So the ticket rate is already sold out for today. If you didn't get a pair of tickets, you can still get a pair courtesy of our FanFest presenting sponsor,
FanDuel Sportsbook.
Here's how. Right now, new customers can get 2 tickets to FanFest by signing up using promo code FanFest. Make your deposit and place a bet of $25 or more and get 2 FanFest tickets. Again, right now, new customers, got to be a new customer. You can go and get 2 tickets by signing up to FanFest with our presenting sponsor using promo code FanFest. And go ahead, you got the rest.
And our presenting sponsor is FanDuel. Make every moment more. Must be 21 and present in PA. First 300 new users only. Minimum bet $25. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Absolutely. Lou says that's why Jackie McMullen is the best sports writer out of Boston probably ever. Bleep Bob Ryan. That's right, Louise. I actually like Bob Ryan. He can be, brash at times and come off a little hot-headed in some situations, and you're like, all right, Bob, settle down. This one, though, that was unnecessary. Unnecessary for him to go that far.
Yeah, grew up reading them, watching them on PTI, which he was on a ton.
And I saw more sports reporters when I was growing up.
Yeah, I remember that growing up as well. So I've always respected the dude, too. But when you start calling athletes' names as a journalist, that's
necessary.
Yeah, you don't need that.
You don't need it. Jasper and Jay Gridlock on Twitter, as far as Jalen Reagor goes, do I feel sorry for Jalen Reagor? Let's see. He was drafted in the first round, can't catch a cold. On top of that, he has a bad attitude. So the answer is hell no. So I guess when we, again, go back to Andrew asking me about my conversation about this particular player and sounding so negative, well, again, we're talking about something negative about the player, so there you have it. That's how Jasper feels. That's how many of our callers felt early on in the program. That's how you felt. I can't wait for you to hear the best show ever when Tyrone gets a hold of Jalen Reagor and gives his thoughts, and you hear from Rick and from Hunter, and you also hear from Jen about what they feel about Jalen Reagor possibly as well.
So you may have mentioned it last night. You now don't have a wide receiver 5.
No, you don't.
You have Britton Covey, you have Deion Kane, and you have Devin Allen on the practice squad.
Uh-huh.
Do you think they go outside? Or do you think they just promote
I think they promote one from the practice squad for game 1, unless they have a game plan. If Miles Sanders is playing, where they feel like they can also use Scott more as a running back, Gainwell as a receiver a little bit, and Dallas Goddard with Stahl and Calcaterra a little bit there. Maybe go more in that direction.
You also don't have a punt returner or kick returner because no Huntley. I believe he wasn't picked up on the practice squad. I don't believe. Britton Covey was taking some punts. That's kind of my thought, is they bring up Covey and have him be the number 5 guy and have him return punts. Because right now you don't have anyone else, and that is a huge asset of the game, an underrated asset of the game, is the punt return, the kick returner. So I think they probably look to upgrade outside of the organization. But when it comes down to it, they don't find anyone, they just call up Covey so they have someone that they trust can return punts.
And that's what I think they do. I think they'll just keep it in-house for right now. And if those guys don't work in this particular situation, this opportunity, then maybe, just maybe they'll go out and decide, all right, let's go scour the waiver wires, see who's available, see who's a free agent, and bring them in and add them to the mix and see if they can do something here. Because that is the only thing that's really a bit of a hole right now is that they don't have a kick returner or punt returner as of yet, on record right now of those guys. We weren't thrilled with Jalen Reagor being that choice.
Absolutely not.
No. So now you have to, again, decide how you're going to go about with them in this spot just for this game. And kick returners may not be as important, but punt returner, you need somebody out there to return punts for this football team this season. So, that's my thoughts. That's my thought.
The kick returner definitely least important than a punt returner in my eyes, because it feels like 9 out of 10 kickoffs are touchbacks at this point with them moving everything up for safety reasons. They don't want as many high velocity hits as they've been getting. So, yeah, I'd agree with that. I think punt returner, when it comes down to it, I think we're down the road, we're getting to the point where kick returns are going to become a thing of the past.
Yeah.
Maybe not completely out of the game, but
kind of gotten there.
Yeah, even more so than now, I could see.
Yeah.
Because it's a non-factor at this point.
Right. And Andrew checks back in on Twitter and says Devon Bob Ryan comments were horrible. Yes, sports radio and media breeds a certain hatred towards players. Folks go overboard. It's like they got personally touched by Jalen and Ben Simmons. Some Philly fans can't even cheer for quarterback Hurts. Why shouldn't a father block trolls? Well, a lot of times it seemed like he was just blocking people just because they said something that wasn't positive, again, about his son. Didn't always have to be a troll in general. Didn't have to be that. Could just simply be saying, wow, Jalen Reagor sucks. All right. That's just how you felt. You're not tagging Jalen Reagor. You're not tagging Monte Reagor and informing him that his son sucked. You searched his son's name and saw some things that he didn't like and you blocked it. Go overboard? Yeah, people go overboard sometimes. But I know I didn't. I know I didn't go overboard. I simply talked about the player not being a good player. And that's it. And that's my right in doing so. Yes, on the radio, off the radio, talking about the player, sitting there watching it saying, man, how do you drop that? How do you not come up with that catch? Why does that go off your face mask? You had a chance to make up for a lot of wrongs with your level of play since you've been an Eagle, and you didn't. That's terrible. You got to do better. That's a valuation of a player. Yes, it's negative. He made a negative play. I'm talking about the negative play that he made because he didn't make any positive ones for me to balance it out and talk about both. So, yeah, that's how it goes.
And I think there's a difference between talk radio, sports radio, and a journalist who's covering the team. Like, journalists who are covering the team, they shouldn't be having opinions, especially expletive opinions. That was a tough word for me for some reason. Expletive opinions on certain players because they are supposed to be professional journalists and keep it professional. Talk radio, we're seeing and talking about what we see, and we're bringing it up to everyone out there to talk about it as well. So when we see negative play from a guy like Jalen Reagor, and like you said, the lack of, it seems like, drive and work and want to get better, and him calling out people on Twitter, blocking people on Twitter, deleting it, reactivating it, deleting it, all that, we can call that out. We see someone like Ben Simmons, who, again, is someone who is not working on his game, has no interest to get better, and then did the stuff that he did off the court as well and hold the Sixers hostage. We're allowed to call out those players and say what we feel about them. That's just, I think we'd be doing a disservice, an injustice if we didn't do that.
I think it's only fair. I think it's only right to talk about it in that way. All right, let me give you, to kind of lighten that up a little bit, just a few more things here from the earlier conversation we had about some of the buddies that we had, the buddy cops that we were talking about. Let me see, 21 and 22 Jump Street have to be up there in the buddy cop movies. That's from Rob with Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum. Cop Out from Mike with Bruce Willis and Tracy Morgan. Yes, I've seen it. He says it's pretty good. It's a pretty good duo. LOL. Forgot about that movie. It was okay. I watched it, yes, because of Tracy Morgan and Bruce Willis. It was just okay. It's not a go look for it type of movie, but it was all right. It was okay.
Never saw it.
You don't have to see it again.
Yeah, all right, that's fair.
You don't have to see it again. You don't have to see that again. Actually, Jamal says the same thing. Cop Out was good. Morgan and Willis, Law and Order, Green and Briscoe, SVU, Benson and Stabler. Yeah, that's more the TV, and we were talking, of course, about the movies more so than TV. But yes, they were good. Karate Mark says for a television series, also Sidekicks, where there was a little kid who helps cops solve crime with his karate skills. I vaguely remember hearing about that, but not much. Not much. Jamal also says, we were horrible to that young man. Any person under 22 doesn't need that. He didn't draft himself. Jefferson and Higgins were elite, hence where they went to school. If a child were in any other profession, it wouldn't have been bullying. It would have been bullying. But Jamal, he's not in any other profession. This is the profession that he chose. That comes with the territory. Even when you go through the draft process and you have to evaluate yourself at the combine and these pro days and you don't get things that you don't like, it's evaluated just like any other job where it is, your evaluation in a sense. And then you have the evaluation when you become that player, and we talk about it. We weren't horrible to him, and he's not in any other profession. He chose this one, and that's part of it. The same way people come at us if they don't like what we do on the air. We chose this. We have to take it for what it is and say, all right, thanks. I'll do better. I'll be better. Nobody was horrible to him. He had heat on him for not performing as a first-round pick, and you're right, he did not draft himself. But Jamal, ask him if he thought it was a first-round pick if you had a chance to talk to him. You better believe he's going to tell you, yes, he thought he was a first-round pick. He thought he was worthy of being selected in that spot. And then the way he started talking to people because he didn't like what he read, stop searching your name. How about that? Everything didn't pop up on his Twitter, on his social media, just as, a tag to him. Because sometimes they didn't tag him. They just wrote it in regular characters. Jalen Reagor is not a good football player. Jalen Reagor has to make that play. Why are you searching for your name? And then if you do see something, why do you have to clap back knowing that you yourself know that you didn't have a good game? Unless you are not really in tune of what's going on and you're blaming everybody else instead of looking at yourself in the mirror and understanding that you have not been good football players. So, no, Jamal, I disagree with you. No one was. There are a semblance of people who may have been horrible to him. The majority, they were not horrible to Jalen Reagor. They evaluated him as a football player that was not good. And that's it. No, he didn't draft himself, but he had an opportunity to go out there and still make himself into a football player on this team, and he did no such thing. He didn't. That's it. He blamed everybody else. So that's that. We disagree.
Yeah. I would say that you had a guy in Andre Dillard who went out last offseason and said something similar, that he deleted social media. It was good for his mental health. It was good for his preparation getting ready for the season. And now Andre Dillard hasn't had social media for 2 years. You had a guy right there on your own offense doing that. Could have looked at him. Hey, or he could have gone out. Maybe he did go out. Hey, listen, man, I understand you're young. You want to be on social media. It's probably not the right thing for you right now. And there's always going to be bad apples out there. Always going to be idiots out there. It doesn't matter what fan base that go too above and beyond when it comes to criticizing someone. That's always going to happen no matter what. We're talking about the majority of the fan base. No, it wasn't. It was heat. I don't believe it was unnecessary. Much like you don't believe it was unnecessary.
And no, we weren't awful to that young man. That young man, yes, he has a job, but guess what? They live in a different world than we do. They live in a different world.
$7 million signing bonus.
It's a different job. So that is part of the territory. It just so happens that their evaluation is more public than everybody else's. All right, final segment coming up on the other side before we hand things off to the best show ever. The gang is all here. They're ready to roll. But we have one more segment with you to talk about these things with the Birds, the Phils. Miles Sanders back at practice for the first time in 2+ weeks. We'll get into it all as we keep it rolling right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies wake up. I'm Tom Alvord, and this update is brought to you by Quick's Car Care Systems. Car care products from Quick's are designed to target and repair specific surfaces of your vehicle inside and out. Quick's has an effective car care product for the DIYer in us. Visit Quick's at quicks-usa.com. Yes, after being outscored 25-10 in the first 2 games of the series, the Phillies responded in a major way. They finished with 22 hits and went 15 for 29 with runners in scoring position in their 18-2 drubbing of the Diamondbacks in last night's series finale. 18 runs is the most the Phillies have scored this season, and they did it all without hitting a single home run. The Phillies now sit at 73-58 on the year and are a half game up on the Padres for the second wild card spot in the NL. Bills get the day off today before heading to San Fran for a 3-game series with the Giants. We are officially 1 week away from the start of the NFL season. The Eagles' 53-man roster has been set, and the team captains have been announced. Captains are Jason Kelce, Jalen Hurts, Lane Johnson, Brandon Graham, Darius Slay, Fletcher Cox, and Jake Elliott. Miles Sanders has also returned to practice after missing 2.5 weeks. And the Philadelphia Union clinched a playoff spot last night with a 4-1 win over Atlanta United FC. Keep it locked with the Fanatic all day for breaking news and information. I'm Tom Alborn. You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic.
It's the Cuz, Anthony Gargano. Weekdays 10 to 2 on 97.5 The Fanatic.
The wait is almost over. A new football season is about to begin, yes, in 1 week. And get ready for the NFL Week 1 action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. To celebrate the return of football, DraftKings is giving new customers a can't-miss offer. Bet just $5 on any football game and get $200 in free bets instantly. Yes, you want more action for opening night? Let me tell you how. Everyone can experience the thrill of DraftKings early win promotion. You get up 7, you win. What do you mean? Well, you just bet on any NFL team of your choice. And if your team leads by 7 points at any point during the game, you get paid instantly, even if your team loses. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code FANATIC. That's code FANATIC only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Pennsylvania only. Bonus issued as free bets. 1 early win token issued at opt-in moneyline deposits. Bets only. Deposit and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/football terms in partnership with Meadows Racetrack and Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
FanFest 2022 is coming.
Saturday, October 1st at Xfinity Live. Doors open at 1 p.m.
Presented by FanDuel Sportsbook.
Here's what to expect.
100-foot obstacle course, Rockwall Mechanical Shark, the Fanatics Haunted Halloween Beach, the Sixers Half Court, the Philadelphia Union's mobile soccer field, the Flyers Inflatable Goal, Franklin the Mascot, gritty, exotic sports cars, all of our Fanatic hosts, DJ Mo Green, loads of food and beer.
And just added, Eagles cornerback Darius Slay.
Darius Slay is brought to us by CSL Plasma.
The countdown is on. For more FanFest info and ticket raid days, go to 975thefanatic.com.
Fanatic FanFest 2022, Saturday, October 1st from 1 to 5 p.m. at Xfinity Live and only from 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Hi, it's Cuz. Is your summer weight loss plan not working out as well as you hope? Look, hope is not a strategy. This is what you got to do. Contact njdiet.com today. They will contractually guarantee you will lose 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. Just go to njdiet.com. Their program starts with bioenergetically personalized supplements that are based on your saliva, your hair, and your blood work. And then NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet plan and workout regimen to help you keep the weight off. You're not sure you can do it alone? NJ Diet's with you every step of the way. You're fully monitored by their certified staff to make sure you're burning fat, not just losing water. You'll also get the doctor's personal email and phone number. NJ Diet is committed to you keeping the weight off. It's all natural, no shots, no hormones, no surgery, no prepackaged foods. Locations close by: Newark, Delaware, King of Prussia, Cherry Hill. Worldwide live online video consultations. Call them. 855-5NJ-DIET or go to njdiet.com. That's njdiet.com and lose the weight for good.
Back in 2021, League of Legends Netflix show Arcane made waves with its popularity. And now the show is back in the news for winning 3 Emmy Awards in animation. Anne Law, Julian Georgel, and Bruno Cauchino all won 3 separate Emmys for their art and animation work on the show. These awards increase Arcane's chances of winning the Outstanding Animated Program Award when the Emmys take place on September 12th.
The latest esports and gaming news. Find it online at checkpointxp.com.
Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because our Sleep Number 360 smart bed is really smart. It senses your movement and automatically adjusts to help keep you both comfortable. Plus, it's temperature balancing so you stay cool. It's even smart enough to know exactly how long, how well, and when you slept. Our smart sleepers get 28 minutes more restful sleep per night. Sleep Number takes care of the science. All you have to do is sleep. Don't miss our Labor Day weekend special where all smart beds are on sale. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Labor Day. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Attention BetMGM customers. Have a friend who loves sports as much as you do? Here's your chance for both of you to earn a $50 bonus when they sign up through BetMGM's Refer a Friend program. Just sign into your BetMGM account and click on the Refer a Friend program to send your friend a message inviting them to register a new account in the same state you use BetMGM in. Once your friend signs up and makes a deposit, they'll receive a $50 bonus. And once your friend places a bet with their bonus and the wager is settled, you'll receive a $50 bonus as well. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years of age or older to wager. Pennsylvania only. All promotions subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued with non-withdrawable site credit. Site credit expires within 30 days. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. BetMGM Sports in partnership with Hollywood Casino Morgantown.
If you run a small business, efficiency has never been more important. So for a limited time, Comcast Business is introducing small business savings. Call now to get powerful internet for just $39 a month for 12 months with no annual contract and a money-back guarantee. All on the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/22. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Restrictions apply. New business 50 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra and subject to change. After promo, regular rates apply.
Meet Harper, teammate at Truist. Hello. She was born to care and always had your back. Like the time her friend's bumper car took a gnarly hit. Oh no! His retainer went flying, but Harper caught it before it got crushed. Today, Harper's a teammate at Truist, the bank with Truist One checking. With no overdraft fees, a $100 negative balance buffer, and automatic upgrades, Truist One checking has your back too. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank. $100 negative balance buffer. Eligibility requirements apply. Truist Bank, member FDIC.
Realtors abide by a code of ethics. This is Article 9 in action. Beth, a first-time homebuyer, knew nothing about the home buying process, except that she wanted to buy a home. But her realtor had the expertise to make sure Beth understood every document, even giving her copies to review with her lawyer so Beth could close on her first home with confidence. Complicated things explained in simple terms. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
FanFest is the biggest party of the year for Philly sports fans, and FanDuel wants to send you there. Now, new FanDuel customers can get a pair of tickets to the Fanatic FanFest courtesy of America's #1 sportsbook. Just sign up with promo code FanFest. Make your first deposit and place a bet of $25 or more to get a pair of FanFest tickets for October 1st at Xfinity Live. That's promo code FanFest. FanDuel, make every moment more.
Must be 21 plus and present in PA. First 300 new users only. Minimum bet $25. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Businesses of all types and sizes are saving money with Pico because Pico's got the financial incentives and technical expertise to help you reduce your energy use and to save cash. See how Pico's helping businesses like yours take greater control of their energy costs to improve their bottom line. Simply complete a customer survey on Pico's digital portal and an energy profile. The report will be generated for you, and this profile is going to provide specific recommendation based on your facilities, equipment, and energy use with great ways to save while either maintaining or increasing productivity.
Hello? Whether you're at home or on the go, listen to 97.5 The Fanatic on Odyssey on your smartphone, Roku, LG Smart TV, Waze, and more. That's Odyssey, AUDACY. Check it out now. More of the Anthony Gargano Show now.
On 97.5 The Fanatic.
All right, final segment here, 1:32 on the midday show. Anthony Gargano is out. I'm Devon Givens in for Ant. And you have Tom Alvord in for Andrew Salchunas as they are enjoying their weekend. Before everybody gets back and gets started next Tuesday, as the Philadelphia Eagles start off the week to prepare for the Detroit Lions. So, yeah, everybody's taking that last-minute days off. I don't have any more. I took a week off, and it was like, all right, I'm good.
That's all you need?
No, I should probably have taken more, but it's cool. Because then after football, we've got hockey. So I'll be on after hockey, staying late, going in the crease with them. Then basketball is right there after, pre and post with them, going late. And we hopefully have playoff baseball, where I think we will have playoff baseball. And that's going to be a busy time as well. So there is no time off. No more time off. It's just what it is at this point. Did you see when, so you know I talk a lot about the Danny Rumpf Classic here because my buddy Mike Morak runs that one and is the Pro-Am here in town. And the Pro-Am that's run by Jamal Crawford in Seattle, the Drew League, and other Pro-Ams that are around the country. When LeBron played at the Drew League, that went much better than the one that he played in Seattle for the Jamal crossover because of the conditions. And there was the one guy who played against LeBron in the game that kept popping up. Ball-headed guy, played against LeBron. He, this photo is everywhere. Everybody's talking about, this guy is loving his life. He has a memorable story now because he scored on LeBron. Or look how intense he looks on defense. Wouldn't you want to be intense trying to slow down LeBron so you're not getting embarrassed? All right. So his name is Deion Wright. And Deion, as I was reading the story yesterday, late last night, Deion pleads for the NBA opportunity, is how the headline went, after playing LeBron James in the Drew League. He's pleading for the NBA to give him a shot so he can play in the NBA after playing LeBron James. Well, both things are not the same. The Drew League, yes, there's talent there. There's talent in the Danny Rumpf Classic. In an NBA structure, is it different? Yeah, it's a little bit different. It's a little different. But the guy's pleading, like if I ask Mike, my man Mike, put me on any team and let me lace him up against Tyrese Maxey. Now, look, I don't have the same career as Deion Wright. Maybe he played professionally overseas and, played college basketball and all that stuff. And I don't have that type of reputation here in Philadelphia as a basketball player. But if I said to Mike, and let me ask my man Reem, put me on a team, put me on your team, Reem, and let me lace him up against Tyrese Maxey. Or Isaiah Joe, for that matter. How's that going to go? It's not going to go well for me.
Probably not.
It's a different, and look, he held his own in that game and all that stuff. He held his own, Deion Wright. But I don't think and yes, you can have these, like, look, the Blue Coats have their tryouts, and I've done it like 4 times, the open tryout. And I think I'm going to do it again in a couple of weeks. But, sometimes you get those breaks. Sometimes you find your way, like Jonathan Simmons, who paid his way to the I think it was the San Antonio Spurs, where he had the Toros. He played in the San Antonio Spurs G League team, paid his way, and then he found his way into the league as a role player, got some money, did well for himself. Sixers traded for him in that team with the Jimmy Butler, J.J. Redick squad, all that stuff. But look, I like the confidence of Deion Wright. Maybe he should have also gotten a Summer League invite first. Try that out. Or maybe ask for a G League invite, right? Go to the open tryout. Do that. I'm not mad at him. But it's like, all right, you're not going to get it that way.
Baby steps is what you're taking.
Baby steps.
Yeah, that probably makes sense. Says Wright was a player at St. Bonaventure.
All right.
During his senior year in 15-16, he averaged 16.7 points, 9.1 rebounds. Unfortunately, he went drafted back in 2016. So, yeah,
look, you played college basketball. You go overseas. Now go to the G League.
Yeah.
Get your agent to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's different ways to do it.
Yeah.
Easier ways to do it. More realistic ways to do it, if you will.
I'm just saying.
Then you go try out for the Blue Coats.
I'm not mad at him. Yeah, come on over here. Fly across country. Pay your way to the Blue Coats. Listen, you get your agent to call the Blue Coats and see if you can get a tryout. You know what I'm saying? Do that. Oh, look at Danny Green, Memphis. He's out there now shooting jump shots.
I saw that.
3.5 months after surgery. That's not where I was. I tried to do it. It hurt.
I could imagine. Yes.
It hurt. It's all stationary for him, but that's good to see him back out there.
Definitely. Definitely is.
Because I saw him. We were at the same party, summer party, late June. And when I saw him, asked him how he was going, I was like, dude, what are you doing here? He's like, man, so we were talking about different things, how you can sleep, how you can't sleep, because you got to have your leg this way. got to keep this on. You got to do these exercises and all that stuff. And his is more, it's different because he can do it around clock because he's a pro athlete trying to get back to his work. Well, I was just simply trying to get back to being normal. But it was good to see him. And it's good to see him out there on the floor now 3.5 months after surgery. So we'll see what happens with him and the Grizzlies as he tries to continue his career. He doesn't feel like he's done. He does hold value. So we'll see. It's good to see him back out there on the floor.
I just still can't believe Daryl Morey got D'Anthony Melton for an expiring Danny Green contract and a first-round pick, which I get. It's a first-round pick, but that's someone who's not going to help you for 2 years if you're a win-now team.
Yeah, but it helped that the contract didn't have to be guaranteed by a certain date, so Memphis can go in that direction. They can also use him as a trade piece later on. You look at D'Anthony Melton, the money matched up, so it worked out there. And they signed Tyus Jones to an extension where it was a lot more money than what D'Anthony Melton made, and you paid Ja Morant his money as a franchise player. He was kind of expendable. So I saw how they made that happen.
Yeah, I guess I was expecting a little bit lesser of a player. Now, listen, D'Anthony Melton is a guy who's going to come off the bench for you, but I just see big-time upside there. I really like the player that they got, still relatively young as well. So I guess I was just expecting less of a player to get for Danny Green coming off an ACL injury or having an ACL injury.
Understood. Man, and I'm looking at this this Twitter exchange or Instagram exchange from Jalen Reagor and a fan while he was here a while ago. I never saw this one. This was bad. But if it's real, it was bad. And with that, let's go to Nick in Collegeville. Wants to talk about athletes on social media because as I'm looking at it, Jalen Reagor doesn't come off pretty well on this one, clapping back at the fans. What's up, Nick?
Tybot, Devon, what's up, guys?
What's going on, man?
You guys all right?
Yeah, all good.
So let me ask you a question. It's been a while since I signed up for Twitter or social or Facebook. When you go in there, they're not bending your arm. They don't have a gun to your head when you're hitting buttons and accepting everything and all the cookies and all that, right?
No, you can say nothing. You can do nothing. You can just have it.
You can really not.
You can
go
be
to the Play Store and Google Twitter.
You can be Jay-Z and have 3 million followers and don't follow anybody and only tweet. You don't have to see anything.
So basically, when you sign up for a social media account, you're opening the door to anybody who's on the other side, correct?
You are.
All right. And then when you're a public athlete or say a public actor or a public figure, a public person making money through the publicity and marketing of what you do, then you're opening yourself up to more eyes and ears and fingers, tweeting and texting, correct?
Yes.
All right. So I don't understand these athletes. Like, they think it's a one-way street. Like, I'm sure a lot of these guys had a hustle growing up in the street. In the day when they first came up, they couldn't. It's not like they were playing basketball or football, when they came out of their mom's womb. So you understand what the street's like. You understand that.
What do you mean by hustle? What do you mean?
I mean, just opening yourself up to a conversation, like to be on a basketball team or a football team.
Yeah.
It's a two-way street. The coach is in your face. You're in a coach's face. You have other players. Like, it's always a conversation. Life is always a conversation, whether you're competing.
Yes, there is. And you may not always like the conversation. You may not like the end of the conversation at all times. No.
But you can't get offended when you open the door of your life to billions of people out there, and you might get somebody like you tweet out, hey, that's a bad play. That's a bad play for a college quarterback. Hell, that's a bad play if you're a senior in a high school. A bad play is a bad play. If you want to get offended and you want to have an onion skin that's that paper thin, dude, that's on you. I don't understand these dads, these moms, these athletes that act like children when they're making millions of dollars.
And you're right, Nick. Thanks for the call, man. Always good to hear from you. Sometimes the players and the families go too far too. But that's when we always say, like, hey, you find out some athletes, some entertainers, they're like to family members, all right, take it easy on social media. You're not helping me out. Real simple. You're not helping me. You're only hurting me right now. So let's lay off. Let's be responsible. Let's be mature enough to handle this because this is what it is. There are going to be those times. I get them. I try to make it where we all try to make it where everybody likes everybody until you don't. Sometimes people may not like what I say. They may not like how I said it. They may not like my vocabulary. They may not like certain things. Then they come at you, and you gotta take it for what it is. When I open myself to this job, it's gonna be that way. Devon, you suck. All right, I'll do better. You just deflect it. You just move on. It's what it is. I may not get it as much as he gets it, but I also don't go in there talking about all the things that he does when he's this, this has this and this plan and it's going to work out this way. And you guys, I'm just not doing that. We just look at things differently. And I didn't grow up in the social media era like he did. Like this one I'm looking at, if this is real, this is really bad. He's talking about, because a guy said this, if you get 13 plus fantasy points, I'll buy you a Big Mac. You suck, man. Wow.
I think I've seen this circulate before.
Is it real?
I think so.
All right. He's bleeping this. Give me your Addy. You doing all the talking. I'll knock you out.
This is Rager saying.
Yes. Man, relax. You're not going to get a Big Mac talking to me like that. So now he's just playing with him, right? Now he's just having fun with Jalen Rager. He got a reaction out of him. And he's keeping it going. I'll beat you this and you're soft. All right, man, aren't you 5'10"? You better relax or I'm telling Sirianni. Right? So now he's just egging him on. That's not good. That's not how you respond.
Just delete it, man. Just delete.
Like Kevin Durant, we talk about him. I think Kevin Durant actually has fun with it. He can go too far sometimes, but I think he has fun with it in general. Would you rather he had a burner account? Or would you rather him be himself and just have fun with you, talking about stuff, coming back at you, you come back at him, he comes back, but he's not going to this level.
Yeah, to that extreme.
Yeah, he's not saying stuff like that. So, my opinion, just my opinion. Andrew again says that sport writer who wrote the article about empathy toward Jalen. We talking here about mental health with player, family, and friends. Imagine if these players and family, these players are family. Well, I have family in professional sports. You can't read everything. Yet tearing these players apart is more entertaining on radio and social media. My only point. Well, again, Drew, I have a player I have a family member who's a professional player. Pretty well known, I think. Some people like him, some don't. It's okay. I've sat in the stands and heard stuff, not just when he was in high school. I've sat in the stands in college and in pros games where he's playing and people are saying stuff. I left a playoff game when I was out there and we were leaving, going back to the hotel, and I heard some stuff. Don't you think I could have stopped, which I wanted to, but I didn't, right? I didn't say a thing. I just left it what it was. It was like, all right, cool. Guess what? Come back the next game, he drops a career high. It happens. It's okay. So I can imagine being a family member of a player who does take heat from others. When you are comparing, he's a good player, but yeah, he's not as good as that player. He's not as good as that player. Let me point out the negatives. It happens. So, Drew, I hear your point, but I've dealt with it. I do deal with it. I do. I see it all the time. I do. So, look, it's just what it is. Said, and he had a few other things, but, it's all good. Good back and forth, Drew. We appreciate you checking in general, throughout the show and giving your thoughts about how we talk and how we react to Jalen Rager. But again, we talked about him taking responsibility. Howie Roseman drafted him, but at some point, it's not about Howie Roseman anymore because he tried to right the wrong. Yes, he tried to give him an opportunity because he drafted him once, so you want to justify the pick. But number two, he's still on the team. You have an opportunity to go out there and still be good. You're a starting wide receiver in the NFL. Go produce. At some point, it is about that player, and it has to be talked about. And, yeah, sure, players are going to bite back sometimes. There's a way to handle it. The way that he handled it, Drew, I never liked how he handled it. I thought he could have done it much, much better. And that was my opinion. That was it. And that's what makes sports great because you can have these conversations. You can agree. You can disagree. We can come back tomorrow, and guess what? We'll agree on something else, that they're going to be a double-digit win football team for the upcoming season. And he needed a change of scenery, and maybe it'll work out for him in Minnesota. Maybe it won't, but we'll find out as it all plays out. Don't forget the Phillies play tomorrow. They have the day off, and they will have Kyle Gibson on the mound as they travel to San Francisco to take on the San Francisco Giants to begin a 3-game series with Gabe Kapler's current team. And they did what they needed to do by getting the win last night. They put up some crazy numbers, 18 runs and 22 hits, and it was just tremendous to see how they got that one done last night. It's all right, again, you did your job. Do it again. Go out there and get it done again. And just some of those weird numbers that were there. Again, I was watching it on NBC Sports Philadelphia and saw this number, this graphic that they put up as they made history. 22 hits, the most since 2007 against St. Louis in July. 18 runs, the most since Miami in April of 2018. And the 18-plus runs that they had last night for the first time with no home runs since August 17th, 1941. So dating back many, many years, where they put up a game like that with no home runs. That was impressive last night.
Yeah, let's keep that offensive surge going.
Keep it going.
Into this weekend.
You got everybody back. You feel good about everybody being back. Bryce Harper and so many other. Bryce Harper being back, and you got everybody there in the mix. Now you just hope that Bailey Foster is okay with his groin issue. Get back Zach Wheeler as soon as we're in September. We are in September, so it is officially the Aaron Nola watch of when he will start to go the other way. Let's just hope that he doesn't. He's been good all season, maybe more consistent than Wheeler because he's been there for each game. But let's hope that it all works out the right way for the Phillies. Good road trip upcoming, we hope, with this San Francisco team. The Union get their win last night and clinch a berth in the playoffs. That was solid to see that. A lot of Fanatic representing there in the building last night. You get to see that. And once again, we were talking about Serena Williams and the job that she did last night, continuing on as she plays the doubles tonight, right?
Yep. 7
doubles
o'clock.
tonight with Venus, 7 o'clock. So she's back at it tonight, so you can get in on that. That U.S. Open, man, it's been wild. From Tiger Woods to Anthony Anderson and Mike Tyson on his edibles, hot sitting in the stands. Dionne Warwick getting confused for Gladys Knight, which is a disgrace. And so many other people sitting in the stands witnessing, again, a 40-year-old knocking off and taking down a 26-year-old, the number 2 ranked player, and she just keeps it going. So Friday, we're going to get the next match, and hopefully she can continue. And that's why we were talking a little bit earlier about where she stands as far as the Mount Rushmore of all-time players. But great stuff today, Tom Alvord. We appreciate you as always, man. I'll catch up with you next week, but you have your show on Sunday, so I'll make sure I'll be listening with you and Connor Thomas. I'll be back tomorrow with Tyler Zulli beginning at 10 o'clock following the morning show. So I'll be back tomorrow with Tyler Zulli. We'll have Family Game Day. We'll have a lot of fun as we lead you into the weekend to start off your holiday weekend. Thanks to all the callers, all the tweeters, all the listeners out there during the midday show, and Mike Vito and Heavy Chevy for what they did. Coming up next, we got the best show ever. Tyrone, Hunter, and Ricky and Jen will talk to you tomorrow. Enjoy.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Offensive explosion. I'm Matt Borden. This update is brought to you by Ash